My name is David Merrill. I'm the head chef over here at the Cedar Room. What I hope to bring to the community is an opportunity to explore new horizons that people maybe haven't before because it was too expensive, too intimidating, too broad. And I just kind of want to bring an opportunity for people to try new things in, exciting ways that, are still small town affordable. Stop on by at the Cedar Room located here in the historic Canteen District.
Test 1, 2, 3. play. The best of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. KOOQ North Platte. K251CP North Platte. 98.1 and 1410. We're online too at northplattepost.com. 98.1. The following is an Eagle Media Sports presentation. North Platte High Sports on northplattepost.com, FM 98.1 and AM 1410 are brought to you by
Justin Thompson Agency, American Family Insurance, Hands of the Heartland, La Casa del Rios, Dave's Place, Cole Jonason with High Street Insurance.
North Platte will reset the offense. Eli Broman steps back for three in the corner again. That is 3 threes for Eli Broman today. 9 points and a timeout going to be called by Alliance.
Al's Lock and Save, State Farm agent Bobby Holtz, Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan, Great Plains Foot and Ankle, The Fortify Group, Larry's Glass, Shelter Insurance agents Pete Boltz and Brett Rogo, Puro Clean.
Now to Gans. Gans. Oh, that's going to be stolen by Kaminsky. Kaminsky up the court now with it. Having Kaminsky Euroing up for the layup.
Oh, it's a left-hand scoop.
Great Plains Health. Great Plains Health Sports and Therapy. Jay Engel with Farm Bureau Financial Services. Runza. Double Dips. Merrick's Ranch House. Mid-Plains Community College. Szechuan Famous Food and Sushi Bar. The Cedar Room.
Here's the voice of the Dogs, Paxton Gordon.
Welcome in, everybody, here to the Doghouse, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and yes, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. I'm Paxton Gordon. Welcome back home, everybody. Yes, they always say the home is where the heart is, and we are here at the heart of North Platte for the first home game in what feels like forever for me personally. I know we had a home game last week against Lexington, but I am back once again. I'm sorry I had to take off on Friday for a funeral. But we are back for some North Platte High boys and girls basketball as the Dogs take on the Vikings of Grand Island Northwest. The Vikings currently sit 6-7 on the season compared to North Platte High School, who currently sit 4-9 on the year. Of course, Grand Island Northwest coming off of a strong victory against a really, really good Adams Central squad, 53-47. Wow, North Platte High School had to face probably the tougher of the two matchups in Bennington on a back-to-back in Bennington after playing the night before and losing to Lexington 41-16 to now make it for the losing column for North Platte High School this season. It's counted up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row that they unfortunately have fallen, the Dogs have. And really it just boils down to offensively, the team struggles to find consistent offense, only putting up 16 points against a really improved Lexington girls squad who over the last couple of seasons have been getting better and better and better at that program for the Minute Maids. And then a Bennington squad who has always been good and a team that is really, really good beyond the arc. North Platte once again struggled on the offensive side of the basketball, but looking to turn that around here versus a Grand Island Northwest squad who again come into today's game kind of on a win-loss kind of streak. Of course, winning their last one against Adams Central 53-47, falling to St. Cecilia 54-45, and then beating York in a very close matchup 39-36. And again, for North Platte High School, it all is predicated on if this offense can really fire up and find a rhythm of consistency. That has really been the issue this season, has been consistency and turning the basketball over. I was talking with Jeff Smeltzer, who will be joining me here in a couple of minutes as he makes his way over. But he's been scouting this team out in my absence when I've been away, whether it be at North Platte Community College or other assignments, that the real number one issue that this North Platte High offense has is not really that they don't have the players, but they just turn the ball over too frequently. It's just like watching watching North Platte Community College and the Knights women's basketball team when it comes to how they run their offense. They have some good moments. They know where they want to go with the basketball. It's just that they're careless and reckless when they have it in their hand. And when they do that, then we start to get some issues in terms of high turnover numbers and some unfortunate opposition points when it comes to points off turnovers for the opposing team. So look for North Platte to kind of clamp down on its turnovers today here versus Grand Island Northwest. That's what you hope and want to see. And then on the defensive side, they have put up some good numbers. I mean, you hold Kearney Catholic in the starts to 50 points. You hold a Lexington team, which had been pretty productive this season from the offensive side of the ball, to 41 points. And then Bennington is kind of tough because we always know that team is just so deadly from beyond the arc. 63 is what you gave up in that game. You only gave up 34 versus Hastings, and then in your other loss, 37 to Sydney. So the North Platte defense, while been a little inconsistent in the last couple of games, holistically has been a bright spot for the team so far. And it's now more about, can they bring the offensive side of the basketball into play here today versus Grand Island Northwest and the Vikings. Quick Stop pregame show, 27 locations, open 24 hours a day. When we do come back, we will get more in-depth into what the Dogs need to do, as well as dip into our Double Dips Ice Creamery starting lineup. Quick Stop pregame show, 27 locations, open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop, always open, right around the corner.
Save money at the pump at Quick Stop with the DinoPay app. DinoPay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings to Sinclair DinoPay, saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and For Real Shakes and Smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
Experience the beauty of downtown North Platte and enjoy lunch or dinner at the Cedar Room. The Cedar Room is an unparalleled restaurant experience with this unique atmosphere where modern meets rustic. Enjoy a handcrafted cocktail made with the freshest ingredients by a master mixologist while dining from their delicious American fusion cuisine menu. Make a reservation by calling 308-532-4825 or reserve online at thecedarroomne.com. The Cedar Room, 505 North Dewey in beautiful downtown North Platte.
Every step should feel great, but if foot pain, bunions, heel spurs, or injuries are slowing you down, Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists is here to help. Their expert team of doctors provide top-notch care, from routine foot health to advanced treatments and surgery. Whether you're an athlete, always on the go, or just tired of aching feet, they'll get you back on your feet pain-free. Step into comfort. Call Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists today, or see them online at gpfootandankle.com.
Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan for your next vehicle. Look online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Bill Summers is Western Nebraska's leasing headquarters, and they have aggressive financing to get you into the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Check out all the inventory at BillSummers.com anytime. Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan, where families are our business. Highway 83 and Walker Road in North Platte, and online 24/7 at BillSummers.com.
This is the Bulldog Pregame Show from FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Presented by Quick Stop. Always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Quick Stop pregame show, 27 locations open, 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the corner. I have a good friend joining me here in just a couple seconds as he gets comfortable. He's a late bloomer and a late arrival is how we say. It's okay, I got him. I know, see, I always tell him, you know, I bring these beautiful things to help your back out, and it's called my cases of furniture, well, my cases for all of my equipment. But the 6-9 Grand Island Northwest Vikings take on the 4-9 North Platte High Bulldogs. As Jeff Meltzer gets all finished up here, 6:04, let's go before we tip off. first off, Mr. Smeltzer, it is a pleasure to see you here today. It's been a minute. Yes, it has. Of course, unfortunately, not here on Friday as I was attending our great Connie, our salesperson Connie's funeral as she passed away last week. So, of course, all my condolences out to the Juergens family. But it was a busy weekend for not just the boys, but also the girls. You play a Lexington squad that honestly I feel like is a little bit improved comparatively to what they have been previously. And then, unfortunately, you've been tasked with the toughest, battle of them all, turning around immediately the next day and driving to Bennington after a tough game the night prior.
Yeah, Bennington was rated. Were they number one?
Yes, if I remember correctly, they are the best team.
They are the best. Super good, and it's tough getting on the bus at 6 o'clock in the morning, traveling 4.5 hours to play a number one team in the state. And,
especially off of a game the night prior. It's kind of just like you sit there and you feel like you feel sad because you're like, who, no offense to anybody who made the schedule, but who made that schedule, Because, that is unfortunately a schedule loss just waiting to happen. And again, and of course, we do want to say shout out to Bennington for playing us. That's kind of been one of those most recent relationships that have been built, within the last year or so has been the trip to Bennington. But having to turn around from a previous night's game, it is super tough, and that's one of those games where you kind of just need to chalk it up to just being a tired loss because of how that team had to travel that day after a game prior.
Yeah, for sure. I talked to the athletic director before the game, and he said they went out to Scottsbluff and Gearing the week before. Oh. And he said on the way, we drove by 10 towns that won't play us. He said, we're so appreciative of you guys playing us, making the trip out here. So
it's again, it goes both ways. So we really appreciate what Bennington has did. It just sucks that unfortunately that's what had to do in the first place.
But I mean, you don't want to play it at night. You want to drive 4.5 hours, after a game concludes at 9:30. So I'd much rather play them in the afternoon. It's tough for the kids to get on the bus that early to play really, really good teams. That Bennington girls team is amazing.
Yeah, they're the most likely to win state this season. But a lot of, and you've been sort of my scouts for the past couple of games that I've been away, the same things unfortunately seem to be still being a cause of concern for this North Platte offense. And it doesn't help either that the Dogs are down not just their best player, but their second best player, as both Josie Douglas and Peyton Jones are going to be out once again tonight. Of course, Josie Douglas has that concussion. And then I don't remember what Peyton Jones had in terms of her injury.
So they were out the previous 2 games.
Yes.
And that hurt. That was your best outside shooters, your best ball handlers. But hey, hats off to the other girls. They played super hard, as hard as they could. Lexington girls, definitely a much improved team, better than any team we've seen them have.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and then Bennington's Bennington, so it's kind of just an unfortunate sequence. So it'll be fun to see what this now youthful squad is going to do because, again, as you said, the best ball handler and the best shooter you have on the squad are going to be out today due to injury. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Dogs are going to really react and play against a well, not only coached Grand Island Northwest squad, but a senior-led Grand Island Northwest squad. They have 5 different seniors on their team, and then a plethora of juniors to boot. Only 2 freshmen on the varsity roster. I mean, that is a well-oiled machine that Grand Island Northwest has, and don't let their record, fool you, even though they have only 6 wins on the year. This is a team that, man, oh man, they sure do know how to play hard.
I don't see much height. It looks like their tallest girl listed is 5'8", so I would get the ball inside to Nora Whirl every time down the court if I could, if not to Ava Franzen or another post player.
And that's kind of been, unfortunately, the little issue for North Platte is when their turnovers happen, has been trying to, A, get the ball up the court and move tempo, but also just some ill-advised passes because we all know what Coach Tyson Hammond loves to do with his offense, and that's initiated from the post or get it inside to the paint to either, A, force the defense to collapse so you can go out and shoot from the perimeter, but also to get somebody like Nora Whirl, who we know when she has a mismatch is really, really, really good and can execute when needed in a position like that. So it's a little unfortunate that this team still to this point in the season is struggling when it comes to their turnover battles and their turnover woes.
Yeah, so many good things happen when you get paint touches, whether it's your post player scoring or kicking it out for an open jumper.
And I know this isn't, college and high school is vastly different, but you could just see in the last 3 games for the Knights women's team when they were able to really execute properly in the paint, the whole offense kind of moves differently, and the offense at least feels like it breathes a little life because you have a relief valve in the paint area to be able to take the pressure away from a team that's trying to focus you on the perimeter. So for the Dogs, they really need to put emphasis on protecting the ball to get it into the paint, because if they don't even get an opportunity to get it into the paint, as we've seen prior with the Bennington game, the Lexington game, it's really, really difficult.
I haven't watched any film on Northwest, but I'm pretty sure they're going to press. If
Yes.
you've watched any film on North Platte, you would apply some sort of pressure.
Again, they are a very small, scrappy team overall, so they are most certainly going to push tempo from what I've seen and also press at the same time. So there's a lot of things that are going to be on the mind of North Platte High today when it comes to what are they going to do on the offensive side, how are they going to protect the basketball, and how is this team again going to look without 2 of its key starters. It's a great opportunity also for those young talents to be able to see what they can do with that. But before we go, we now have to stand and don't fall, Mr. Smeltzer, turn the lights off. And let's have the national anthem. We come back. It is time for tip-off and our, of course, Double Dips Ice Creamery starting lineup on FM 98.1 and AM 1410.
What do you see in your future? Buying the perfect home with a big oak tree? Watching your child graduate from college? Or finding more time for hobbies during your retirement? Whatever your future holds, make sure you talk with the Farm Bureau Financial Services agent. Together, we'll create a plan that's right for you.
In North Platte, visit Jay Engel at fbfs.com/find-an-agent.
It's your future. Let's protect it.
Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and is now bringing those services to the North Platte area. Residential services, respite services, community services, and even day services. Hands of Heartland offers a full array of services from 24-hour supports to just a few hours per week. Learn more today online at handsofheartland.com. That's handsofheartland.com. Hands of Heartland, providing creative opportunities to live and grow.
When the leaves start falling and the temps start dropping, do your windows keep the cold out or let it in? From foggy panes and drafts to cracked or outdated glass, Larry's Glass can help you cozy up your home before winter hits. Repairs, replacements, even custom storm windows. Call Larry's Glass in North Platte today and stay warm, safe, and energy smart all season long. Larry's Glass, 211 West 5th, where quality meets clarity. The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Head to Merrick's. Open Monday starting in February. Also, try the new Philly cheesesteak sandwich, the most authentic cheesesteak in the area. Merrick's.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to the Doghouse, FM 98.1 and AM 1410, live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. It is time for our Double Dips Ice Creamery starting a lineup. Double Dips Ice Creamery in the historic Canteen District of North Platte offers 24 plus different flavors of hand-dipped ice cream, served in a variety of ways, starting for the side of Grand Island. Jolie O'Hara, the senior at 5'4", getting the start alongside Lakin Dorsey, senior 5'7". A second starter for this time, the junior Emerson Graves at 5'8". Emerson McIntyre, spelled differently than we've normally seen when it comes to Grand Island Northwest, the junior at 5'6", and then Miss Allie Nelson at 5'7", as we get ready to rock and roll with the starting lineups here for North Platte High School. As Mr. Smeltzer, we got those all lined up potentially for us here today as we get set up for. Oh, never mind.
No, I don't have,
that's my bad. I thought.
Remember, I arrived late.
I honestly, that is a true point.
Yep.
But first off, let's just say this looks so much better if you are, of course, not watching on our stream. We have a brand new, of course, the new beautiful projectors, and we've talked about Smeltzer and I on the off season and in the off time have talked about how they've been working a lot to improve upon the projector screen.
It's different from last week. It
I
looks
was
even
going to
better.
say, and of course you said they've had so much time to really work on such a offense. As getting the start, of course, for North Platte High School is wouldn't be shocked with some of these. J.C. Burke getting the start, as well as J.C. Fox. Ava Franson also starting here for North Platte High School. And Adelie Terry getting the start, and Nora Worrell. So we're kind of going to this fun style of offense that we've seen, I wouldn't say too many times, but I am interested to see what they are going to deploy North Platte, because you kind of have, a mixed match offense in terms of Nora Worrell getting the start, as well as Ava Franson, who have kind of gone on and off with each other. Then you got Adelie Terry, who normally comes off the bench. J.C. Fox, who in the last couple games seems to be kind of in and out because Hayden Irvin has been getting the start as well. And then, of course, the lone person who has gotten consistent starting time being J.C. Burke. So I'm kind of interested to see how this offense is going to mesh because, as you said, the Dogs...
Decidedly bigger lineup for the Bulldogs.
Of course, starting with Nora Worrell. J.C. Fox, also somebody who's kind of underappreciated in the height department when it comes to North Platte High School. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game goes about for the Dogs, as it's actually Grand Island Northwest that gets things started winning the tip-off, and they now go the other way with O'Hara. O'Hara into a corner now, trapped in a double team, is able to get it out of the corner, and here comes Emerson Graves. Graves bounce pass to Nelson. Nelson in the corner. O'Hara for three is no good. They get the rebound there with Allie Nelson, and Grand Island Northwest will start the offense once again. O'Hara picking her dribble up. Back to Emerson Graves. Graves through a double team. Kicks it to McIntyre. Back to O'Hara. Dogs really utilize that zone defense well before they get a pass into the paint. Lakin Dorsey had a wide open shot to the basket before she is fouled by Miss Ava Franson, and to the free throw line for the first time goes, and now in Northwest, and Lakin Dorsey.
Well, she got her money's worth on that foul, did Ava Franson. But yeah, don't give her the easy one.
And then she makes the first one for Lakin Dorsey. Dogs started off pretty good in the first couple of seconds of their zone defense, something they've been utilizing more frequently this season than we normally have been accustomed to. Normally the Dogs, a very man-heavy defense. This year been going to that zone, as that rebound is corralled by Miss Nora Worrell, and the other way comes North Platte, trailing 1-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. Burke picking her dribble up now, looking for some help. Bounce passes it to J.C. Fox, who's on the sideline here, going one-on-one with Graves. Worrell, one-on-one now, driving in on Lakin Dorsey, backing down Lakin Dorsey into a cutting-in J.C. Burke. Burke back out to Worrell. In a corner, now going baseline. Trapped, cross courts over to Fox, in and out of her hands. It was tipped by a Vikings defender, and with 5 seconds, North Platte needs to get something offensively. Burke will fire for three. It's short, airballed, and out of bounds. Last touch by the Bulldogs. Good ball movement, but even better help defense from the Vikings to cause some misfits or some mistakes
they
for the Dogs.
They did move the ball very well that possession. Got it too far down on the shot clock, had to force up a three.
And now a full court press defense. Bounce pass down low to Dorsey. Back to the perimeter to O'Hara for a three. Her shot's no good. And that's Adelie Terry who comes up with the rebound. North Platte going with a full court zone defense to start the ball game out against the Vikings, as Terry crosses half court. And now North Platte can reset the offense, or at least get it started with Burke. Into the corner to Ava Franson. Franson guarding one-on-one with Nelson. Now at the top of the right elbow, firing from 16 there is Nora Worrell short, and it goes off of the fingertips of Emerson McIntyre. It's North Platte basketball.
Okay, that worked out well. See if we can get it inside. I don't know if I'm crazy about Nora Worrell playing 15-plus feet away from the basket.
1-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. Is all the way out to Adelie Terry they go. Top of the three-point line, she drives in on O'Hara. Bounce pass to Fox. Now Burke with 7 seconds, drives in. Burke on Graves, shot is up, it's short, fought for, rebounded there by Adelie Terry, but it's going to be rebounded for a second time from Emerson McIntyre. And up the court comes Grand Island Northwest. Bounce pass to O'Hara. O'Hara blocked by Nora Worrell. And that's going to be a foul. First one for Nora Worrell, second team foul for the Dogs. Just a step behind, as Grand Island Northwest, as we said early, they are going to go streaking up and down the court, showing it right there.
And they extend that man-to-man pressure and making it tough for the Dogs to get the ball inside. They're just so worried about protecting it out there on the perimeter.
As that's first free throw good for Jolie O'Hara. She makes both of them. She's 2 for 2 with 2 points to start this game off. It's a 3-point lead for the Vikings of Grand Island Northwest here on your Tuesday. Terry driving baseline, but spins back out and will let the offense, or thought, start back up, but Terry into the paint. Now trying to go through 2 defenders. She
like
travels.
A traveling violation.
She picked up her pivot foot after she hop-stepped. And unfortunately, that is another mistake for North Platte. They're getting some good penetration down in the paint, just unable to really squeeze past a defender from the Vikings as the shot is up and in from Allie Nelson off of a quick feed to break down the full court press. And head coach Tyson Hammond will take his first time out here today. A now 5-0 lead for the Islanders early on with 5:31 left to go as Hayden Hansen.
Bring the Haydens in.
I was going to say Hayden Hansen and Hayden Irvin checking in now for North Platte. Of course, with the current outage in terms of Peyton Jones and Josie Douglas, I would assume we're going to see a very extended North Platte Bulldogs bench. Coach Hammond, normally not known for his deep rotation historically, when things do get a little rough in the injury department, he is more than willing to open up the bench more than you'd think he would be.
Yeah, I think Lexington and Bennington, they went maybe 9 or 10 deep early, and then I think everybody got some playing time before the Bennington game was over.
Timeouts brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Check them out on the one-ways, 621 South Dewey, Sweet Bee, as well as our other sponsors for today's game, Hands of Heartland. Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and they're bringing those services to the North Platte area.
Curious, they brought in another game ball. I wonder if they started out with a boys ball or...
Oh, interesting.
But they did bring in a new game ball.
I saw something on TikTok recently of a game where...
It's happened. Was it here last year or the college?
Might have been it was definitely at the college if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I think the college played with the wrong ball for a while. On the girls' side.
On the girls' side,
On the women's side specifically, as Hayden Hansen tries to get the inbounds. A dangerous pass that she collects, tries to stay inbounds. It's a turnover, and the other way comes Grand Island. Up for the layup is Emerson Graves, and that's her first 2 points today, and a costly turnover for North Platte. And then a blocking foul against Emerson McIntyre, and there's the first foul for the Vikings with 5:17 left to go here in this first quarter.
Yeah, good defense. She just couldn't cut her off and got her with the body that time.
They get the ball into J.C. Burke. So the first rotation's out for North Platte. Ava Franzen as well as J.C. Fox. Hansen thought about the three, now drives around the perimeter. Kicks to Irvin. Hayden Irvin now to Terry. Terry through 2 defenders. Shot is up, looking for a foul. No good. It's Jolie O'Hara who comes up with the rebound, and Terry one-on-one guarding through 2 defenders as the Vikings cross half court. Now their offense resets. They try to get it down low. Bounce pass to the side of Lakin Dorsey, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Dogs. Some good defense there as, again, the Vikings trying to break this zone defense down with some aggressive passes and have found some successes. Oh, that's off the foot of Hayden Irvin on the inbounds. They tried to bounce pass it to Lakin Dorsey, but it goes right off of her
back
foot.
of her heel.
Yeah. So now it's a sideline inbounds for Grand Island. Still leading 7-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. Nelson. Now they go back to Dorsey. Wide open in the corner for 3. She's no good. Fighting for that rebound. It's actually picked up by Hayden Irvin, and then a travel by Hayden Irvin as here comes a full 3-man substitution for the Vikings.
14, 21, 23.
Hallie Rice, Libby Lohman, as well as Abby Dinkelman, the freshman. So we do see one of the freshman players getting some time for the Islanders, or excuse me, not for the Islanders, wrong one. The Vikings, the other Grand Island team, is, that shot's no good. Fighting for the rebound is Hayden Irvin and the Dogs, and Coach Tyson looking for a travel is falling to the floor with it was the senior Libby Lohman. It's going to be a jump ball.
I agree. I thought maybe that was a travel as well, but Bulldogs ball regardless.
Now here comes Hayden Hansen up to Burke. Bounce pass to Irvin in the corner. Irvin to Terry. Natalie Terry driving at the free throw line. Now hop-stepping, looking for some help before a jump ball from Jolie O'Hara. Gets her hands in. The senior, good awareness of where that ball was and causing a turnover for North Platte off of a jump ball. Dogs still going with that full court zone defense. Get the ball in to Rice. Rice back to O'Hara. All the way up the court now they go with it to Nelson. Nelson in the paint. Fires over Nora Whirl off the mark. Whirl's able to come down with the rebound. And there's Nora Whirl's first rebound today. Burke now slowing things down. Picking her dribble up at the half-court line and gives it to Whirl. Irvin here in the right corner, driving baseline. Irvin on Rice in the double team. Now bounce passes it back out to Terry. Terry backing down, trying to get some separation. Now picking her dribble up, asking for help. Oh, and it's going to be way out of the reach of Norral Whirl, and that's going to be a backcourt violation as it goes all the way out of bounds underneath the basket for North Platte. So Dogs kind of got trapped on that right side, and unfortunately did not have anybody there to help alleviate the trouble that Adelie Terry was in. Here comes the Vikings with it now. Rice on the left wing, throws it to the far side to O'Hara. Over her head and out of bounds. And the opposite way, a turnover for the Vikings.
One good turnover deserves another.
3:41 left to go here in this first quarter. 7-0 lead for the Vikings of Grand Island Northwest. Class A versus Class B action. Hayden Hansen now up the court, guarded one-on-one with Hallie Rice. Picking her dribble up, now trying to drive. Up and over her head, she throws it out of bounds as unfortunately Adelie Terry was in position, but Hansen getting a little too careless with the basketball, kind of reminding me of Chloe Hannaborg from last season where she just loses her dribble and just chucks it into a vicinity of a teammate. And now here comes Grand Island the other way with it. Dinkelman swings into the corner for a three from Rice. Again, off the back iron, no good. Fought for, rebounded by the Vikings, and it's Hayden Irvin now with it, trapped in a double team. They get the ball to Terry, and here comes Adelie Terry up the court now for North Platte, looking for their first points today. Hansen driving to the basket, no good. Fighting for that ball and picked up by Allie Nelson. Full court heave all the way up now to O'Hara. 1-on-2 fast break, bounce pass down low, blocked by Norral Whirl from behind. But it's still picked up by the Islanders. Great block from Whirl to help. And with 2:50 left to go here in this first quarter, Grand Island leading 7-0. O'Hara now here on the left wing, and a travel. A bad feed from Hallie Rice forces O'Hara kind of off balance. And checking in, Emerson Graves now at the scorer's table, and J.C. Fox for North Platte. Dogs have had some opportunities to find at least a point, but turnovers have cost them a couple of times on the offensive side of the floor.
Yeah, last possession, they got a good shot by Hansen. It just didn't go down.
As here's Burke, now guarded one-on-one by Dinkelman. Needs some help, almost a backcourt violation. Uh-oh, it's stolen away by Emerson Graves. Graves in the open court, layup is up and in. 4 points for Emerson Graves off a turnover. As here up the court, another turnover as Hansen, ill-advised pass to J.C. Fox. Corner three from Dinkelman. It's finally in for Grand Island. And a quick timeout called by head coach Tyson Hammond. That's the first three to fall today for the Vikings. And it's 12-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. Timeout's brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Check them out on the one-ways. 621 South Dewey, Sweet Pea.
Yeah, you never like to start out with 7 turnovers versus only 6 shot attempts.
Yes,
so
we've had many conversations prior to the Christmas break about how you hate to get out-turnover compared to your shot selection.
Yeah.
But again, we kind of had that feeling this is going to be the case just with how, the lineup.
Yeah, you're down your 2 best ball handlers, so it is going to be a struggle. And Grand Island Northwest, they know that. They're going to apply pressure.
And the thing is, Grand Island Northwest has always been a pressure team, so this is not like a team that never pressures, trying to pressure for the first time.
Right.
Grand Island Northwest historically and this season as a whole, while being, of course, knowing their height disadvantages overall, have decided that they're going to be more aggressive up front when it comes to their defense. And as we've seen also for the Dogs, that has been their struggle some. They have not really been able to handle pressure well this season when somebody is up in their face.
For sure. And I like what the Vikings are doing, applying that aggressive man-to-man defense once the press gets across half court. I mean, if you don't match up with them inside, just don't make sure they don't get the ball inside. They're keeping the ball away from Norral Whirl in the interior. And
so far, it's been pretty effective. And
very effective.
When Coach Hammond's, philosophy offensively has been to get the offense started in the paint. If you can't even get it to the paint, you're going to have some trouble. As here comes Norral Whirl now with the basketball. Up to J.C. Burke. Burke in the open, 3-on-2 fast break to Hansen. Hansen drives, Hansen fires. It's just off the mark. Norral Whirl fighting for the rebound, but it's picked up there by Hallie Rice. But Hayden Irvin able to sweep in from behind and get the jump ball. North Platte has possession. Again, so close to getting a bucket. but falling a bit short as Abby Hudnall now checks in for Allie Nelson. Burke sets and fires for three off the inbounds. Off the front iron, fighting for that rebound of the Dogs. Oh, somehow it falls into the hands of Hallie Rice. Many white jerseys got at least a fingertip on it, but couldn't come down with the ball. And now with 1:43 left to go, here comes the Vikings the other way as Adelie Terry looks to check back in for North Platte. Driving now in goes Rice. On the baseline, ooh, and a foul. Is that going to go against Norwell World? No, it's J.C. Fox.
J.C. Fox, I think.
It's the third team foul for the Dogs. First for J.C. Fox. As Hayden Hansen checks out. And so far, Coach Hammond sticking with a 7-man rotation here in this ball game. A three from Emerson Graves. Off the iron, no good. That rebound somehow gets into the hands of Libby Lohman. And the offense resets for the Vikings. Another offensive rebound for Grand Island Northwest. Adelie Terry stripping it away. She's trying to fight for it. Ball's on the floor. Still fighting for it is Terry. And we get a jump ball that goes the way of Grand Island. And if there's one thing that, again, we've talked about, the Dogs have been missing is kind of that little spark plug off the bench to insert defensively. And with Chloe Hannibor going to wrestling, shout out, she finished second at the latest meet this week.
Yeah.
Adelie Terry has kind of inserted herself into that jitterbug role defensively and has been really good. As another foul, unfortunately, going to fall upon North Platte as Libby Lohman try to post hook. And that goes against J.C. Burke, first for her. So fouls are spreading evenly across the Dogs here in this first quarter. Nobody really in foul trouble, but another couple of free throws for Grand Island Northwest. As Libby Lohman's first free throw is no good. 12-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. Lohman's second will sneak in.
Okay. All right, you got to score here. Dogs can't get blanked in the first quarter.
As Burke lost control for a second, picking her dribble up, needs help. Spinning around, might be, we're getting close to that 10-second violation as Terry somehow crosses half court before time expires. To Irvin from 18 feet out, off the back iron and rebounded by Libby Lohman. Another good look for North Platte that goes claying off the iron. And now here comes Grand Island, 41 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Down low they go to Lohman, shot is up, no good. Hansen, wow, tried to get the rebound, but it bounces into Lohman's hands on the floor. And another three that's off the mark from Emerson Graves, and it goes out of bounds. Last touched by the Vikings and Abby Dinkelman. Woo, boy, man, that somehow ball just magically fell into Libby Lohman's hands on the floor. And now an inbounds with 29 seconds left to go in this first quarter. 13-0 the lead for Grand Island Northwest. Burke here on the near sideline, picking her dribble up. Almost got called for a travel, but now trapped in a corner, needs help. Still looking for help. She's running out of time, and there's a violation.
Yep.
Coach Hammond didn't want to call a timeout.
No, he didn't want to call a third timeout in the first quarter.
Yeah, so let that, unfortunately, possession die, and here comes with 15 seconds, the Vikings looking for the last shot of this first quarter, leading 13-0. Emerson Graves swings to Dinkelman. Now over to the near side to Rice. Dinkelman pivoting around, 5 seconds, drives past Terry, kicks down low, out to Graves. Emerson Graves, now three on the way from Rice is no good as Grand Island Northwest ran out of time offensively, but that is how this first quarter comes to an end. 13-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard when we come back here to the Doghouse on FM 98.1 and AM 1410.
Bold flavors and authentic Chinese cuisine? Look no further than Szechuan Famous Foods. From spicy Szechuan classics to mouth-watering dumplings, fresh sushi, their dishes are crafted with the freshest ingredients and traditional recipes. Whether you're dining in or taking out, every bite is a taste of China. Visit Szechuan Famous Foods today, where flavor is always first. Located at 320 Rodeo Road, or order online at SzechuanFamous.com for carryout or delivery. Your taste buds will thank you.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
See me, Pete Foltz, at 501 South Jeffers for a free insurance review.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to the Doghouse, FM 98.1, AM 1410, live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. Paxton Gordon here. It is a 13-0 lead for Grand Island and the Islanders to start quarter number 2. North Platte High School unfortunately could not get a bucket in the first quarter and trailed by 13. Timeouts brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. See him on the one-ways, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As well as our other sponsors for today's game, Hands of Heartland. Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998, bringing those services to the North Platte area. As another foul called, this time against J.C. Fox on a block the other way after she tried to attempt a three and couldn't get it to fall. Second foul for Fox today, and the first team foul of this second quarter for North Platte. As another free throw will go the way this time of Emerson McIntyre, her first point today. Tough first quarter, Jeff Smeltzer, as we talked about. You didn't want to see the Dogs put an offer in on the first quarter, but that's just how the cards were dealt.
They can just get across half court and get something in your half court set.
So far to start this second quarter, they've done a much better job of getting into that half court offense. Is now the kick now in the corner to Franzen. Franzen pivots around, finds Adelie Terry.
Look at her.
Oh, now they get her to Nora Ward, the left block. Back to Franzen. She'll fire up a three. Overshoots it. Ball's in the air. Rebounded by Terry. Terry shot is up. And Terry's shot is in. Good offensive rebound for Adelie Terry, and she collects the first rebound and the first bucket today for North Platte High School, trailing 15-2. Three on the way, though, in from Lakin Dorsey. She now has 4 points. That's the second three made today by the Vikings. They lead 18-2. And one step forward and unfortunately 2 steps back following that three from Grand Island Northwest. Worrell, top of the three-point line, now passes to Fox. Burke now with it. Trying to think about getting it down low. Franzen now with it. Still gazing in. Cross-courts it over to J.C. Fox. Fox to Adelie Terry. 15 on the shot clock. Ava Franzen now with it. 12 seconds. They finally go down to Nora Worrell, but it's turned over by Lakin Dorsey as she got in front of the pass. And now up the court they go to Nelson. Nelson almost lost control, and then they do lose control as here comes Adelie Terry the other way. Terry hop steps, up for the layup. No, she blows it. It goes out of bounds. Last touched by Abby Dinkelman, actually correction, Emerson McIntyre, and they...
Well, good steal that time. Good aggressive defense, just couldn't finish on the fast break.
Now they get the inbounds in to McIntyre. O'Hara with it, so a full starting five that started this game for Grand Island Northwest. Graves driving into the paint, kicks out to Nelson's open three-pointer, short, and rebounded by Nora Worrell. 6:05 now left to go in this first half, 18-2. Worrell driving into the paint, Worrell going baseline. Worrell spinning around looking for some help. Cutting in is Adelie Terry. Oh, what a move by Adelie Terry, and what good awareness from Nora Worrell to see the cutter.
Nice pass, good cut that time.
And in the other end defensively, turnover for Lakin Dorsey as she throws it right into the hands of Nora Worrell. And Worrell now looking to take it all the way. Goes into the right corner, drives on Dorsey. Bounce passes back to Franzen. And around the perimeter we go for North Platte offensively. Burke. Fox now with it left wing, getting a screen. J.C. Fox, up it goes to Burke. Burke now driving baseline in a double team. She's in some trouble. Gets it to J.C. Fox. Fox now trying to avoid that same issue. Over to Adelie Terry, 8 on the shot clock. Terry spinning, kicking, Franzen for three. No, short, fought for, saved, into Nora Worrell's hands. She misses the layup, grabs the miss, and puts it in with a foul. So the Dogs fighting for those offensive rebounds come successfully this time as Nora Worrell collects her initial miss and then gets fouled on the other end, or on the second attempt from Emerson Graves. As Graves will check out, and checking into the ball game now comes Hallie Rice, and then Hayden Irvin checks in for J.C. Fox. So far putting up 6 points in the first 3 minutes of this quarter. Almost 7 as she misses that free throw, does Nora Worrell, and it's rebounded by Lakin Dorsey. But so far, much better second quarter for the Dogs.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like the effort, they've actually had some shots falling.
As Rice bounce passes to Nelson, bounce pass to Dorsey. Dorsey up for the layup.
Wow.
Irvin was there, but that's just some really good passing from Grand Island Northwest.
Now they're going back to the press, and that was a lot of the difference. Is they called off the press there early.
Yeah, and allowed North Platte to easily get their offense set up. As now, J.C. Berg to the right side. Passes to Hayden Irvin. Irvin driving baseline on Rice in the double team. Oh, she tries to of a Vikings player. I don't know why I keep saying Islanders.
It must be intentional. They were doing this last week, too. They're liking to drive the baseline and kick to the opposite.
To opposite corner.
Yeah. No success today. They had a little success last week doing that. But
Burke now on the right wing with it. Now drives around the left side of the perimeter to Terry. Hayden Irvin now with it. Thought about getting it to Worrell. Back to Franzen. Franzen to Burke. Burke will set up for three. That's a nice look, and it's in. J.C. Burke with a beautiful three, and it seems like the move right now for Grand Island Northwest that's been having some success is putting an athletic guard on Norrell Worrell to jump in front of the pass that North Platte tries to initiate in the paint, which is causing the Dogs kind of avoid the initiation into Norrell Worrell and forcing North Platte to shoot threes. That's a turnover for Grand Island.
Good defense that time by Hayden Irvin, getting her hand in there, deflecting it off the Northwest player.
As checking in comes Abby Dinkelman for Emerson McIntyre. But yeah, the Vikings trying to set a much more athletic guard on Worrell to intercept the pass so North Platte can kind of avoid going to that low post offense. Uh-oh, from behind, that's Rice who steals it away from Hayden Irvin. Up the court now with it. Dorsey, her shot is off the mark. Terry trying to fight for it, and it goes out of bounds. Last touched by Grand Island.
Got that rebound as she was coming back inbound, so that's a violation. Bulldog ball.
20-9 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard with 3:41 left to go. This opening half. Uh-oh, bad feed on the inbounds, intercepted by Lakin Dorsey. And then we have a jump ball that'll go the way of Grand Island Northwest. Again, that full court press defense causing fits for North Platte as Hayden Hansen now is checking into this ball game, and Ava Franzen checking out, so going to a much more small athletic lineup with the addition now of Hansen in. The handoff now to O'Hara. Jolie O'Hara, swing pass to Dinkelman. Back to O'Hara. Dogs that zone defense. O'Hara scoots past. Oh, and a foul for J.C. Burke. She just barely got in contact with
Enough
O'Hara.
contact to cause her to stumble and fall down. So, yeah, good call. That was the right call.
So now there's two Dogs players with two fouls, J.C. Fox and J.C. Burke. Second team foul of this second quarter. O'Hara, one-on-one with Hansen, taking her dribble up, surveying what the defense has. Running out of time, finds Dinkelman at the logo. Now Dinkelman drives into the paint, kicks to the corner. A Dorsey three, she hit one already in this game, no good on that attempt. Irvin trying to fight for it, and she's able to get the rebound and not travel. She was almost going a little too over the edge with that rebound, almost traveling. Terry, she had an inbound to Worrell. Now she'll go through the defense. Worrell tries to find it into Terry's hand before it's fouled from Jolie O'Hara. They had an initial look into a cutting Norrell Worrell, but it all ends up in perfect position.
Instead, she used Worrell as a screen, went up. First shot didn't fall, but she got the rebound, and the putback was fouled. And
J.C. Fox
going
checking.
to shoot a pair.
Yeah, Fox checking back in, so head coach Tyson Hammond utilizing only a 7-player bench in this game. Be interesting to see who will be the first one. I would assume it'd be Janae Wagner be the first Dog defender.
Could be.
Outside of this starting unit that we've seen, or the starting 7 that have played so far. Terry way short, unfortunately, on the second one, but she did make the first one for 2, and now it's only a 10-point lead for the Vikings. North Platte has done a good job in this quarter to continue slowly but steadily to chop away at this Vikings lead.
Key was protecting the basketball. Just don't turn it over. Get yourself a shot attempt.
As the Dogs now ramping up the defense. Rice for 3 on the left wing. No. Offensive rebound going to go the way at the moment of the Vikings before a jump ball is ensued. And it goes North Platte's way. Again, now the Dogs seem to be breaking down this full court press a little more efficiently against Grand Island. And because of that, in the half-court offense, they're able to at least get something set up. As Terry, picking her dribble up, cross-courts it over to Fox. Fox will get across the half-court line, and now North Platte, as I said, can set their offense up. Cross-court here to Irvin. Irvin into the paint to Worrell. Beautiful feed. Now bounce pass to the baseline. A little 10-footer from Fox, airballed and rebounded there by Allie Nelson. Full court heave now up to Rice. Actually, correction, that'll be Libby Lohman. Lohman couldn't hold on, but that was a perfect offensive setup for North Platte. They found Worrell one-on-one.
Got the low post, and then she kicked it out.
Drew the double.
Drew
the double team. Jumper. Just falls a bit short on the jump shot. Still a 10-point lead. Hansen now with some speed and the open court. Crosses over. Ooh, she almost got a double dribble. Fighting for that basketball. It's kicked off of a foot. World trying to fight for it. World gets it, and then it's stolen away on the side by the Vikings. And with it now, Hallie Rice. Rice swings to Emerson Graves for three, no good. Terry fighting for the rebound and gets it. As Rice looking for a foul, Terry's able to collect it up to Hayden Irvin. Dogs still have an advantageous break. Hansen from 6, no. And Dinkelman collects the rebound and a foul for North Platte against Hayden Irvin. As also checking in comes Abby Hudal. 20-10 with 1:46 left to go here in this first half for North Platte High School girls. On our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. Good perimeter passing by the Vikings. Into the paint they go now to Hudal. Oh, but that's way out of the reach there of Libby Lohman. A turnover for Grand Island. So North Platte is willing kind of give up that initial pass into the paint to keep with their zone defense. And lately, at least in this second quarter, oh no.
Stepped on the sideline.
And that's a turnover for Hansen, but I was going to say, at least so far in just one quarter of play when it comes to this zone defense, much better than we saw in the first half. It also helps that Grand Island so far in the second quarter has yet to hit a three.
Yeah, only 7 points so far in the second quarter. North Platte's outscored them 10-7.
Yes, they have.
Quarter.
Dinkelman. Far side pass to Emerson Graves. Graves bouncing and dribbling now, passes to Abby Dinkelman. Dinkelman gets right past Fox. Picks her dribble up, bounce passes it back out to Lohman, and then Hayden Hansen draws a foul. Got in front of the cutting Libby Lohman. As the 5th foul for the Dogs as a team in this second quarter. As they'll have a baseline inbounds, the Vikings will. Underneath the basket. All the way out it goes to Dinkelman. Into the corner. Graves fires a corner three. That looks good. It's nothing but nets.
She has a good looking shot.
For Miss Emerson Graves, that is her first three today. She has 7 points in this ball game. Terry. Now driving in on Dinkelman. Oh, lost the ball for a second. Picks it back up. Now, oh, wow, that should be a travel as she tried to dribble the basketball, but Abby Dinkelman all over her and just a little too ahead in terms of,
had a hand on the ball, couldn't get the dribble.
1,000 miles per hour before, unfortunately, the head gets to what needs to be done. But a 13-point lead for the Vikings, back to where we initially started this quarter, 23-10. Dinkelman here on the right wing, passes it over to Rice. Hallie Rice, one-on-one with Irvin. Now Dinkelman, 42 seconds. He drives past two defenders into the lane, lost the basketball. Somehow it's picked up, and Graves fires for three again for the Vikings. No good, and it's out of bounds. Last touched by Grand Island Northwest. And if the Islanders are going to continue to struggle with this perimeter shooting, you might as well continue with this zone defense until they prove that they can consistently hit threes. Bad feed from J.C. Fox. Hayden Hansen was in the vicinity, but just a bit out of the reach of it. And now, with 30 seconds left to go, the Vikings will most certainly get the last shot of this first half. Graves, man, she is wide open. I can't believe she didn't take that shot. And now some perimeter passing at the free throw line. Lohman blocked by Nora Whirl. Terry can't get the rebound. It's actually Ava Franzen who collects it. And with 13 seconds, here comes North Platte. Wow, I can't believe Emerson Graves did not shoot that basketball. 7 seconds. Hayden Hansen, she lost it on the floor with it. Picked up by Dinkelman, through the feet and into the open court as time expires in the first half. Sloppy end to the first half, but North Platte at least kept it even in the second quarter, trailing the Vikings 23-10. I mean, after how that first half went for North Platte High School, you got to feel a little bit happy that here in at least the second quarter they found or able to find a more consistent offensive approach that brought them to within 10, but not over that hump.
Yeah, not scoring a point in the first quarter. You thought scoring 10 in the second was a monumental task, and they went ahead and did that. Only held the Vikings to 10 points. So a good second quarter, hold them even, 10-10, now you just got to make up that 13 here in the second half.
Yeah, again, it's not insurmountable. After how this game started, we kind of felt like we were scratching our heads to figure out how can offense be found in this ball game to end the quarter tied with Grand Island Northwest with 10 points each and be at the half trailing 23-10. You feel better for the second half. Just a couple of things offensively that need to be tuned up just a little bit in terms of finding a better shot. I wouldn't say finding a better shot. They had some good looks that just didn't go in. But I think maybe defensively, you're just praying that Grand Island Northwest can continue to be kind of sporadic from beyond the arc, because they are, North Platte, giving up that three ball a lot often in the offensive possessions for Grand Island Northwest.
Yeah, but even when they're missing the threes, when you miss a three, you get a long rebound, and they've been getting a lot of offensive rebounds. And I think it was better in the second quarter. First quarter was really bad. They were getting a lot of offensive rebounds.
And they had 3 threes in that first quarter compared to only the 1 here in the second quarter for the Vikings.
North Platte only has the 1-3. J.C. Burke hit one in the second quarter. She's 1 for 3 from the three-point line. As a team, they're 1 for 4 as a
so
team.
So 25% as a team.
Yeah, which is about average. That's about what most high school girls teams shoot. So that's on par. I like the effort. Just like any Lady Dogs team, the effort will continue in the second half. They're not going to quit.
No.
Just hope some shots will fall.
And that's the thing, they were short on a couple, overshot a few of them. So they, at least, I think the more encouraging thing is they're getting the looks. You were kind of worried with your 2 primary ball handlers for this season out for this game in terms of Peyton Jones as well as Josie Douglas. You're sitting there going like, are we going to even get a clean shot because we struggle with the ball handling outside of those 2? And honestly, we've been seeing actually a lot of good looks. Just so far, they haven't gotten to the bottom of the basket frequently. They've gotten in, but just not at a frequent clip. We'll step aside, take a break. We come back, quick stop, halftime show. We'll jump into some statistics and our Owls Lock and Save keys to the second half on FM 98.1 and AM 1410.
This doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See me, Shelter Agent Brent Rogo at 405 East C Street, and find out why so many of our clients would recommend Shelter.
Experience the beauty of downtown North Platte and enjoy lunch or dinner at the Cedar Room. The Cedar Room is an unparalleled restaurant experience with this unique atmosphere where modern meets rustic. Enjoy a handcrafted cocktail made with the freshest ingredients by a master mixologist while dining from their delicious American fusion cuisine menu. Make a reservation by calling 308-532-4825 or reserve online at thecedarroomne.com. The Cedar Room, 505 North Dewey in beautiful downtown North Platte.
Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and is now bringing those services to the North Platte area. Residential services, respite services, community services, and even day services. Hands of Heartland offers a full array of services from 24-hour supports to just a few hours per week. Learn more today online at handsofheartland.com. That's handsofheartland.com. Hands of Heartland, providing creative opportunities to live and grow.
Your family depends on you. That's why you work hard to make sure they have everything they need. With life insurance from American Family Life Insurance Company, you'll feel good knowing you've taken steps to protect what matters most. Now's the time to plan ahead. Let's talk about protecting your loved one's financial future and finding peace of mind you and your loved ones deserve. For details, contact Justin, 534-2400, or stop by 501 South Dewey Street, just south of Little Caesars Pizza on the corner of E and Dewey.
American Family Insurance.
The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Head to Merrick's. Open Monday starting in February. Also, try the new Philly cheesesteak sandwich, the most authentic cheesesteak in the area. Merrick's.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to the Doghouse on FM 98.1 AM 1410. We have a little bit of the Whitney Houston Challenge going on here. I almost had it. Yeah. See, here's the thing. This challenge is actually technically super easy if you're a bands nerd like I am, because if you just know what what time signature they're in, you can kind of like one Mississippian across the line. So if you think about it, so it's, wait for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you know, I was right on the money. But we're almost on the money when it comes to how this game has gone so far. 23-10 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. So tough to kind of quantify how this game has gone just because you are missing your 2 best players. from a statistical standpoint this season. So for how the Dogs team is currently situated right now, you are happy how that second quarter went. First quarter, you kind of went back, scoring 0 points in the first quarter, though tying Grand Island Northwest in the second quarter with 10 points apiece, trailing by 13, 23-10.
Yeah, we're going to... Oh, she got it!
She did it! Let's go!
I'm going to read out the stats, but they're not
pretty
ultra important because it's for the effort thing. Northwest is going to make it an ugly game with the pressure they get, but Dogs on the night shooting 4 for 21 from the floor for 19%. We talked about it earlier, 1 for 4 from the three-point line, 25%. Only shot three free throws, 1 for 3, 33% there. They have garnered 13 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 3 steals. So if you look at the effort stats,
good, perfect. It's just like what you'd expect from a North Platte high team.
You know, without your 2 best ball handlers, the turnovers are going to be high, and they are. But they're not giving up. They're working super hard. So,
how many turnovers do you know off the top of the head they have? Because they had 7 in the first quarter.
13.
It's not good. But to be honest with you, I think it's where it's been worse. Yes. I think I remember one game when I'm trying to think of what road game recently. Was it Holdridge where they had 21 at the end of the first half, if I remember correctly?
Because I think it was Kearney and then the game right after that, which I think was Holdridge.
Yes.
They were, wow.
It was a tough offensive showing. So for them to only have 13 and be trailing by 13 points, you got to be pretty impressed. Now it's just about how can they respond in the second half because, as we said, Grand Island, as a team right now, shooting much better from beyond the arc. They've hit 4 threes so far, led by Emerson Graves, who has 7 points. 6 points for Lakin Dorsey, 1 3 for Dorsey, 1 3 for Emerson Graves. 3 points for Dinkelman, she has a 3. Libby Lohman, 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Jolie O'Hara, 2 points. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Emerson McIntyre also 2 of 2 from the free throw line. So far, Grand Island Northwest has only missed 1 free throw this entire game out of the
that's impressive
6 they've shot so far. So 5 of 6 right now, and that's kind of been the difference maker. Are those just 3 threes and then those couple extra? How can you say there's 3 free throws? Yeah, so those extra 3 free throws. That's 3 points. That's a grand total of 9 points. The difference just off of threes and free throws alone, which is, again, something that you easily could be turned the other way just based off of, Grand Island Northwest missing more threes than they have so far in this game.
Turning the ball over 13 times and shooting 19%, this game could be a lot worse than a 13-point game. So they've got a chance. Just continue playing hard. Maybe some of these shots will fall.
Quick Stop Halftime Show, 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Thank you to these sponsors that are helping our coverage today. 1, Bill Summers Ford, Honda Nissan, Great Plains Foot and Ankle, the Fortify Group, as well as Shelter Insurance Agents, Pete Voles and Brent Rogo. Now let's jump into our Owls Lock and Save keys to the second half at Jeff Smeltzer. When it comes to North Platte and the offensive side, my big key is try to get more into the paint. I know it's not an easy task to say just, pass the ball into the paint more often, but find ways to get the ball into Nora Worrell outside of just waiting for her to get there, then throwing it, because Grand Island is all over just the wait for Nora Worrell to get to her spot, then hound her when she gets set. Try to see if you can move around a little bit in the paint specifically to find her an open shot.
And maybe it's some high pick and rolls at the key. With that pressure, the Dogs struggled with it early. It took them 9 seconds to get across half court. Well, now you've only got 26 seconds to get a basket. And it's taken them, 8 or 10 just to get a good
look.
Post play. It's just they're making life difficult for North Platte. They gotta find a way to beat that press. But you're right. Inside out, work inside out. It's got to start by getting it inside to Nora. She's only taken 3 shots. She's 1 for 3. So.
And to be fair, also, I think that second quarter was a much better job for North Platte to break down that zone. They really didn't come out as flustered as they did in the first quarter. Now that they became aware of how Grand Island was going to play them defensively, you can see they were able to calmly navigate that full court press and at least get a somewhat, coherent offensive look together. Now can they continue that here into the second half as Grand Island Northwest will be starting this half with the basketball? Emerson Graves on the right wing. Now they get it at the right elbow to Nelson. Nelson steps all the way back out to Graves. Graves drives it on Burke into a double team. Around the perimeter they go. O'Hara thought about the three. Now she drives in past Nora World. Bounce pass to Nelson. All too easy. And that's kind of the one bad thing is they had Nora World pull out to the perimeter.
Yep.
And then it was Allie Nelson with an easy 2 points.
They had to worry about number 4 shooting a three because she's a great three-point shooter. She drove and then made a nice kick.
As Fox splits through 2 defenders and can't get the shot to fall, it's rebounded by Jolie O'Hara. And now the other way, 2-on-2 fast break. O'Hara up for the shot. It's up and in. She goes over Ava Franzen. She has 4 points, and that is a quick 4-0 start for Grand Island here in this third quarter. As Burke now getting a fake screen in from the side of a Franzen. Now Terry with it. Terry picks her dribble up, cross-courts it over to Franzen. Franzen, surveying and waiting, finds Burke. Burke drives in. Nowhere to really go with that basketball. Back out to the perimeter, we go to Fox.
Get inside.
No, they won't go to it. Now they swing it all the way
Get
across to
inside,
Adley
get it
Terry.
inside.
Oh,
Her-
she's open
her
down
defender
low.
fell.
I was going to say, but wide open. Burke 3. Off the iron, no good. Fought for and rebounded by Nelson. Yeah, for a quick second. As we have a travel, it looks like, against Allie Nelson, but
yeah, the defender on Nora World that time, they got tangled up and she went down.
yeah,
so
Dorsey fell for a second, so she had the much smaller
she
Emerson McIntyre on her.
They had to get the angle to get a good post touch. It just didn't work.
So now they set the offense up. World trying to slip through the traffic. Throw it up to her. Yeah. No, throw it all the way out to Burke. They do. Burke at the free throw line into a double team to J.C. Fox. Fox drives through 2 defenders. Fox going up and under. Her shot is up. No, off the iron. Fighting for that rebound is going to be Emerson Graves. She somehow gets it up to Lakin Dorsey before Lakin Dorsey steps out of bounds. At least the Dogs are getting more action, trying to penetrate into the lane, but as we said, just don't like seeing. I mean, Nora World, I guess at this point, is just trying to clear out to at least allow the Dogs offensively
Lady
to get
Vikings
into the paint.
are giving you some opportunities.
Yes.
Couple turnovers early.
You need to capitalize on these opportunities. Fox on the right wing. Can she capitalize? Gets
Now
the screen
roll,
from
roll.
World. Yep, there she
Now
goes.
look at her.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at
right there,
her.
right there. No, she passes it back to Ava Franzen on the right wing. Franzen picks her dribble up to Terry. Quick pass to Burke. Burke driving to the right, now at the free throw line. Franzen sets up for a 3. Beautiful shot off the iron, no good. But it's rebounded by J.C. Burke. Burke will fire for 3 now. Airballed it. Saved by Adley Terry, but she steps out of bounds. Dogs now going a little bit to some perimeter shooting to kind of alleviate their offensive struggles. Have had some good looks, but just like we saw in the first half, weren't able to execute on those good looks with a bucket.
Yeah, that shot by Franzen looked like it was down. Just hit back iron, popped out.
And now the other way come the Lady Vikings. O'Hara now with the basketball on the far wing. Passes it back around the perimeter to Graves. Graves cross-courts it to O'Hara. She sets, she drives into the paint. O'Hara lost the basketball. Franzen trying to fight for it, but somehow it falls into the hands of Allie Nelson. I mean, you couldn't have written that script any better for the Vikings, as some shenanigans on the floor with the basketball results in them getting a bucket. But here comes Terry turning on the afterburners. Terry blocked by Emerson Graves. And now a 3-on-2 fast break for the Vikings. Dorsey, wow, gets fouled. I mean, I think Nora World stripped the ball with her other hand, but the official's going to call a foul. I would assume a block, on Nora World. And because of that, Lakin Dorsey will go to the free throw line. As checking in comes Hayden Irvin, as well as, I believe, Abby Dinkelman. Actually, correction, that's Hallie Rose. As first free throw is no good from Dorsey. Dorsey now 1 for 2. Franzen checks out, and Emerson Graves checks out. So here's an opportunity for North Platte to maybe get something offensively going with the best scorer so far for the Vikings on the bench. Another free throw, this time nailed by Dorsey. 30-10 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. North Platte has yet to score a bucket here in this second quarter. 7 points have been put on the board by Grand Island. With 4:59 left to go. Burke now with the ball, one-on-one with Emerson McIntyre. Swings it over to Hayden Irvin. Irvin driving at the free throw line now. Back to Burke, in the corner to Terry. Terry gets it into Nora World, but it's almost stripped away by Dorsey. Fox now with high 3. No good. She collects her miss, and J.C. Fox can't get the layup to fall. And it's rebounded by Hallie Rice. Again, the effort is there for North Platte. They seem to be unable to buy a bucket the other way. And if you're Grand Island, you are buying a bucket every 25 cents right now, as that's another made bucket by the Vikings. And we have a timeout on the floor by head coach Tyson Hammond. We'll step aside ourselves. It is a 32-10 lead for Grand Island and the Vikings when we come back on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Plows runs his parking lot on Temperature Tuesdays.
Take that, Snowdrift. With great horsepower comes great responsibility.
Every Tuesday in January, the temp at 6 a.m. is the price you pay for an original Runza sandwich when you buy fries and a medium drink.
And every Tuesday, the drive-thru will be drivable.
Thanks, Tom. Not all heroes wear capes.
I'm wearing one.
I know. Temperature Tuesdays are back, and Runza makes it all better.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to the Doghouse, FM 98.1, AM 1410. Paxton Gordon joined alongside by Jeff Smeltzer, my hearty compatriot. Quick stop. Well, actually, that was our timeout. See, I'm all out of whack, man, today. I'm telling you, today's just been a Tuesday, if I've ever had one. Our timeouts are brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. See him on the one-ways, 621 South Dewey, Suite B for all your farm, crop, auto, home, and commercial insurance. Justin Thompson also sponsoring today's game with his insurance agency, the Justin Thompson Family Agency. No matter what type of insurance you are looking for, farm, ranch, auto, home, or business and life, they have the answer for your insurance needs. J.C. Fox now with the ball, try to drive into the paint, crosses over, and now we'll reset on the top of the three-point line. Oh, Hayden Irvin on the backdoor was open, but she couldn't find it in time. And now Irvin, left wing, drives in on Nelson. Irvin cross courts to Adelaide Terry, who drives down into the baseline and steps out of bounds. And, of course, Nora Whirl on the other end gets a bucket, unfortunately, after that step out. It's only natural that happens. But with 3:59 left to go, North Platte kind of having the same fate that they did in the first quarter, where they just couldn't find a bucket or buy a bucket to save their lives. Grand Island Northwest, on the other hand, they are buying it in droves, and oh my, no way they're going to call Nora Whirl with a shove. As the freshman, that's the third, if I remember correctly, for Nora Whirl. As Hayden Hansen checks in. Yeah, that's the third for Whirl. Also checking in comes Libby Lohman for Grand Island Northwest. Allie Nelson checks out. Adelaide Terry checks out. And checking in comes Hayden Hansen. Rice around the perimeter now, throws it. Oh, tipped out of bounds by J.C. Burke, a far perimeter. Jumped into that passing lane and tipped it out of bounds. As with 3:44 left to go, sidelines inbounds for Grand Island. They trigger the play in. Emerson McIntyre gets it in to O'Hara. McIntyre back to O'Hara. Right around the logo. She dribbles to the far side. Spins, passes to Dorsey. Dorsey now back to O'Hara. O'Hara steps and fires for three. There's no way. It's short. And it goes out of bounds. Good defense from North Platte. I mean, forcing a terrible shot from Grand Island Northwest, as they were just unable, the Vikings were, to find somebody open. As into the game to check in, Abby Dinkelman, the freshman. Ooh, Hansen almost lost control of the basketball. Crosses half court. Hayden Hansen over to Irvin. Irvin fires for three. No, off the mark just by a hair. Ball is on the floor. Somehow it's going to be picked up by McIntyre, but Whirl is able to get the bucket after she stole it away. And she goes back to the free throw line again to complete an and one. She had a and one attempt earlier in this game. Jolie O'Hara picks up her second personal foul and the first team foul this quarter. Good on terms of this very young North Platte team to not foul egregiously like we've seen prior years happen. Only two so far in this quarter, and you know, Nora Whirl's the only player that is in foul trouble.
That's her fifth point. Yeah, 5 minutes in, we finally got our first scoring for the Dogs. A three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Love it. And again, good to see Nora Whirl getting at least some action. Oh, wide open there, O'Hara on the baseline. Her shot is no good because there's a foul against North Platte.
I'd say that should be on Irvin. I don't think that was on Whirl.
I'd hope so. Yep, it is on Hayden Irvin. Her second personal foul. Third team foul, as to the free throw line goes Jolie O'Hara. I mean, she was wide open on that backdoor cut. And that's a little bit of the problem sometimes when it comes to zone defenses. You overextend to one side wherever the ball is, and that kind of leaves the backdoor open if you're a good passing team to identify said player being open on a backdoor cut, and that is O'Hara in this situation. But she at least, luckily, goes 1 for 2. She now has 5 points. Point lead for Grand Island. Irvin into the lane. She'll fire up from 8 feet. No, it's off the backboard and out, and then Irvin fouls Libby Lohman as she went for the rebound. And that is the third. So in quick succession, we went from not many fouls to now 4 and 3 for Irvin, who checks out. And Natalie Terry checks in. Also checking in, Emerson Graves, the junior. Or excuse me, the junior for the Vikings, as Jolie O'Hara, the one that's going to check out. 2:45 left to go here in this third quarter. 33-13 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. Rice bounce passes to the baseline. That's now going to be Lohman, who turns the ball over. Almost a foul for Nora Worrell as she throws that up the court and out of the hands of Hayden Hansen. As the Dogs got away with one, luckily there. Worrell getting a little grabby as Lohman was spinning on the baseline. But unfortunately in that transition, they turn it over themselves. And now here comes Grand Island leading 33-13. And Abby Hudall, there you go, how about that one? Checks in, is about to check into this game. Grace, pump fakes, drives, kicks to the far side to Rice. Rice into the paint to Libby Lohman, into a triple team, and then a foul for J.C. Burke. A little swipe with the hand as Lohman was going up for the basket, and that is now foul number 5 for the Bulldogs, and 3rd for Burke. Is
too bad she did that, because Nora Worrell was in a good position to
at least stop it.
Alter the shot there.
Libby Lohman, 2 for 3 now in this game. She has 2 points. As checking out goes Nora Worrell. So Worrell getting really her first break of this ball game, and Ava Franzen checks in. 34-13. Lohman makes a second. So she is perfect in this endeavor. She's 3 for 4 on the day and has 3 points. Into the corner now, Fox driving in, now picking her dribble up, trying to get it to Ava Franzen, but great defense from the Vikings to not allow that. Burke driving in on Dinkelman. Hansen now with it, fires from the free throw line, off the backboard and off the iron, no good. As Libby Lohman not only collects the rebound, now drives the other way with it. Lohman drawing a foul from Miss Hayden Hansen. Now, the amount of times I've seen the Dogs use the backboard like you're supposed to and just have it rim out today, I'd be a millionaire at this point.
Boy, every other quarter's a kind of a dud. 0 points in the first quarter for the Dogs, only 3 so far here in the third.
As first free throw for Libby Lohman is good. She's 4 for 5 now on the day for 4 points. 36-13. Oh boy, she airballs the second. So 4 for 6. But yeah, as you said, if we get an odd quarter here, are we going to see another 10-point drop?
Yeah, I don't know.
We might see that.
Man press.
Yep, and Hansen's able to navigate that pretty efficiently. Swing pass to Fox. Fox on the baseline. Hop steps, and she gets called for an offensive charge as she barrels into, I believe, Abby Dinkelman down low in the paint.
Yeah, a little out of control that time.
7th team foul this quarter for North Platte with 1:29 left to go. As now, bounce pass to Loban. Then another bounce pass that's tipped away by J.C. Burke. They were trying to go to Hundall. And unfortunately for the Vikings, it was tipped out of bounds. North Platte defensively now sending up back in that 3-2 zone. All the way out it goes to Dinkelman. She surveys what the defense finds. Graves in the right corner for 3 off a good pass. And she hits another one, man. Emerson Graves. She has 10 points in this game. That is a game and team high right now. 39-13 for Grand Island and the Vikings. Grand Island Northwest finding good success here in this third quarter. A little turnaround shot from Franzen. Again, cannot find the basket. That one jumped through 2 bounces off the rim and out of the play before another foul is called on the floor. And that's against J.C. Fox, and that is the 4th foul for Fox. And that means Hayden Irvin with 3 fouls checks in. And this is where kind of that 7-man rotation kind of bites you in the rear end if you are a team that is in foul trouble, because Irvin has 3. Fox now has 4. Worrell has 3. And then J.C. Burke also has 3. So you have a few dogs in trouble before we even hit the fourth quarter, as the first free throw is made by Hallie Rice in her first attempts today.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Just let them play, and when they foul out, they
foul out. Yep.
Yeah.
And 2 for 2 from Hallie Rice so far at her free throws attempts in that possession. Now the swing pass to Franzen on the wing. Terry now with it. Quick pass to the corner. Burke for 3 now. Short off the front iron, out of the hands of Ava Franzen, and in transition, here comes Abby Dinkelman, and I mean, talk about that ball somehow magically falling into the hands of Abby Dinkelman. It bounced off of Franzen into a charging Dinkelman, and then goes the other way, and that ball is on the floor once again, and it's tipped out of bounds from Abby Dinkelman.
She showed more hustle that time, almost got the steal.
She is also the fastest member on the Grand Island team so far that I've seen tonight in terms of first step approach.
Yeah.
So 43-13, with 26 seconds left to go in this third quarter. North Platte trying to find an answer offensively, or at least something consistently to hold their head on going into that fourth quarter. Burke, guarded one-on-one by Dinkelman. Bounce pass to Franzen. Franzen cross courts to Terry. She'll set up for 3. Oh, and she banks it in. Finally, the backboard playing good for North Platte. And beautiful passing for Adelie Terry. Unfortunately, I was going to say unfortunately, what a good recovery defense from Ava Franzen coming in from left field to thwart that free charge to the basket from Emerson Graves. And North Platte will end quarter number 3 trailing 44-16 when we come back to the Doghouse on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Hey, Nebraska parents, did you know your local community college is offering free tuition for early entry in dual credit classes? At Mid-Plains Community College, your high schooler can jumpstart their future right now, saving money while earning real college credit. Picture this: the next nurse saving lives, the next entrepreneur building a better Nebraska, and it all starts while they're still in high school. Talk to your school counselor or visit npcc.edu to learn more. Students are responsible for course-related fees and must attend a Nebraska high school or homeschool to qualify.
Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Nissan for your next vehicle. Look online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Bill Summers is Western Nebraska's leasing headquarters, and they have aggressive financing to get you into the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Check out all the inventory at BillSummers.com anytime. Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Nissan, where families are our business. Highway 83 and Walker Road in North Platte, and online 24/7 at BillSummers.com.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to our start of the fourth quarter on FM 98.1, AM 1410. Jeff Smeltzer alongside me, Paxton Gordon. All right, Jeff, final quarter of play. Take me through what you think North Platte needs to achieve in this quarter to at least maybe kickstart something for their offensive possessions consistently.
Oh, nothing more than what we said before. If we can try and get some post touches inside. Done all right, protected. There it is. Inside.
There you go. Come on, Worrell. Oh, pivoting around and up for the shot. And a foul is called.
Yep.
See, there you go. You talk about what the Dogs needed to do. And now Nora Worrell executes. She also draws a foul from Lakin Dorsey. And now she'll go to the free throw line to add on to her 5 points.
Tighten up the defense. They gave up 20 points that quarter to the Vikings.
Yeah, not the greatest, but Nora Worrell answers back at least to start.
And second one is short.
And
Terry
she fights
gets
for the rebound, and Terry, as you said, gets it. Bounce pass, they try to go to Worrell, but it's off the foot of Emerson Graves. So Dogs staying aggressive at the start of this fourth quarter. Again, as we said, only got, 3 points in that quarter? Nope, they got 5. Sorry, correction, 5, as that inbounds is going to be turned over. I say that before a slew of white jerseys jump on it. It will go the way of Jolie O'Hara. A turnover for North Platte. 43-17 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. Let's now up the court. A far side with it, Jolie O'Hara. O'Hara, Dorsey. O'Hara now with it. She sets up for a wide open three. It's short, and that rebound bounces luckily into the hands of Norrell Worrell as Dorsey was in the area to grab it, but couldn't come down with it. Terry spacing things out to Franzen.
There it is. Oh.
Now to Burke. In the corner to J.C. Fox. Fox surveying. Quick pass to Terry. Terry drives. Terry spins.
Norrell Worrell
Fox
is
now
working
with
hard,
it.
and
she should be rewarded at some point. Franzen. Terry now with it. They finally get it to Norrell Worrell at the high post. Bounce pass back to Burke with 8 on the shot clock. Burke trying to find some separation. Worrell is wide open down low. They give it to her into a double team. Where's the foul? And a foul is called. I mean, Norrell Worrell and Lincoln Dorsey are going at it down low in the post for a positioning battle.
Nora got held, and then she may have delivered an elbow to knock her down.
I was going to say a little bit of a soft return to that, and Dorsey giving a little bit of a, shrug off as here comes another Norrell Worrell free throw attempt. She hits another. Smells how many free throws is that so far for Miss Norrell Worrell tonight?
She is 3 for 5.
Pretty good clip for a center.
Yep. And you like the aggressiveness of a freshman. Ooh, that may be a lane.
That might be short as.
I thought that was a lane violation on Northwest.
As that's rebounded there by Jolie O'Hara. That's the 3rd rebound for O'Hara. And now driving Graves. O'Hara now with it. Terry with some good defense. Terry trying to get the steal, which gets ringed up for a reach. But, again, as you said, a freshman being that aggressive offensively is something you don't see until maybe even year 2 after a full year under your belt. Many are very cautious because they don't want to either A, overextend or get into foul trouble. Oh, Emerson Graves is wide open. She doesn't take the 3. Yeah, no kidding. But I just love how Norrell Worrell is not only able to play aggressive as Ava Franzen gets called for a shove. I love how she's not only able to play aggressive, but it's not like she's really overextending. While we prefer to see her not on the perimeter, she really moves her feet well from side to side, not allowing defenders to get easily past her if they're much shiftier.
She uses her body to get open on those. She's got some low post opportunities that they're just not getting to her.
It's also difficult because when they have tried, Dorsey has kind of undercut the passes. And that's kind of in that situation where you do need to throw it up high. And to be fair, also, this Dogs team is still trying to figure out, the luxury to do that because in years prior they haven't really had somebody to consistently go down to because while Miss Addison Euling
get that high entry pass.
Yeah, because while Addison Euling was good, she actually played a lot more perimeter than you would have liked. Because that shot no good. Wow, into the hands somehow of Nelson. She misses the shot, and it's rebounded by J.C. Fox. I mean, you couldn't have asked for an easier rebound from Allie Nelson, but she just couldn't come down with the shot. Fox driving into the lane, in some trouble, and a jump ball that should go the way of North Platte. And that's also just a side effect of running a zone defense. There's going to be a lot of offensive rebounds just because you're back. You're not really looking for a defender you're at this point, a body on a defender.
You're caught looking for the ball, not at the defender. Almost made that.
As a quick 3 from Burke is no good, and that ball is tipped out of bounds by Jolie O'Hara. Yeah, when you're playing a 2-3 zone defense, you don't really have a body to guard. So if rebounds are going to go awry like they have tonight, there is going to be a soft spot somewhere for Grand Island to collect it. They try to get the inbounds into Norrell Worrell. Out to Terry, man. She is wide open. Fires from the free throw line. Off the backboard, no good. I mean, again, good fundamentals from Adelie Terry. The ball just will not go in as that shot's off the mark from Dorsey. And then from behind, a foul against, I believe, J.C. Burke. Nope, Adelie Terry charging down the court.
I think that's only her second?
Yes, and that's the 3rd team foul for North Platte High School. A quick bounce pass into Dorsey, and it's an easy bucket. I mean, the defense caught napping on that inbounds. And Lakin Dorsey with an easy layup, 45-18 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. Franzen to Fox. Fox back to Terry. Now with it, Ava Franzen. Franzen trying to get it to Norrell Worrell, but she'll step out and swing it the other way to Burke. Now Terry won't get the screen, drives, kicks to Franzen. Burke in the corner. Burke driving baseline. Oh, she lost the basketball off of her foot. A turnover. The Dogs are working, that's for sure. They're really working to find something going offensively. And I think the good thing about what we're seeing offensively from this team is they're not dribbling the ball out of the air out of the ball. Is another 3 this time for Jolie O'Hara in transition.
Good ball movement. Boy, Grand Island Northwest is shooting the ball really well.
Yes, they actually are a pretty decent three-point shooting team. They love to do it more frequently than not as Fox fires for three. Hey, you want to talk about a pretty three? How about J.C. Fox the other way with it? 48-21. As to the far side, Emerson Graves. O'Hara crosses it. A wide open Lakin Dorsey three. She hits a nothing but netter as well. She has 12 points, a team high and a game high. 51-21 as here comes the substitutions for both North Platte and Grand Island Northwest. Fox at the free throw line in a double team. Bounce pass to Burke. Burke surveying what the defense offers. In the corner to J.C. Fox. Fox, get that into Nora Worrell. But Terry is wide open for three on the other end. No, it's off the back iron. Ball's on the floor. And it's off of J.C. Fox as she tried to dive for it. So, again, Grand Island doing a great job of showing a help defender when the Dogs are trying to get it into Nora Worrell. And they are, again, leaving a wide open person on the far side, knowing North Platte so far tonight has struggled to consistently make three-pointers. 51-21, 4 minutes left to go in this ball game. Into the lane, there goes McIntyre. Back out to Rice. Dinkelman now driving in comes Libby Lohman. Lohman's shot is up, no good. Worrell fighting for it. Worrell with the ball, gets it somehow to Hayden Irvin. A foul might have been committed from, I think, either Nora Worrell or a Grand Island defender, as Irvin, unfortunately, on that second pickup of the ball, travels. And checking in now comes Ella Chapman, the junior, for Grand Island. Emerson McIntyre checks out, and again, here comes a lot of the fresh young faces for this Lady Viking squad. Probably maybe potentially seeing North Platte dip into their bench a little more here with time winding down. I say that, and here comes Janae Wagner. Loban into the paint, swings out around the perimeter now with it. Driving in Dinkelman, quick feed to Lohman. Now Rice, she'll spot up for three. Yes, man. Second half has just been a barrage of points beyond the arc for Grand Island Northwest and the Vikings. Fox. Bounce passes to Worrell at the left block. Now passes to Hansen. Hansen spots up for three herself. Short. Irvin's trying to fight for it. Gets the rebound. No good on the shot. Irvin trying to get it again. And a jump ball. And that goes Grand Island's way. As I said, checking in for North Platte High School, Janae Wagner, the 5'10 sophomore, sporting that big knee brace last year. Remember correctly, tearing her ACL as well. So I didn't see much of her at the varsity level as an option. Rice, now back on the perimeter to Dinkelman. Dinkelman into the corner. Libby Lohman holds on to that ball, trying to get past Hayden Irvin, no good. Into a cutting Chapman. Rice fires another three. That's off the mark, and it's rebounded by J.C. Burke. 2:36 left to go. Here comes North Platte up full court to Hansen. Quick feed to Nora Worrell. Worrell fires to Burke. She lost the ball for half a second, collects herself, and now dribbles into a screen. Another check-in going to be Brinsley Dubs as Worrell fires a three. That one's off the front iron, no good. Why not let it fly, Nora Worrell? 54-21. 2:10 left to go in this ball game. Backdoor feed to Chapman. She swings it to Lohman in the corner, but a foul is going to be committed. North Platte lost the cutting Chapman on the baseline as Taylor Race, the freshman, looks to check in for the first time today, and I think for the first time this season for Miss Taylor Race. As checking out for the final time today, J.C. Burke. Here in this fourth quarter, a 54-21 lead for the Vikings. Also checking in here for Grand Island, as I said, Brinsley Dubs. Chapman on the perimeter, tipped away by Hayden Hansen. That's an inbounds now for Grand Island Northwest. 1:54 left to go. Fresh subs for North Platte being Taylor Race as well as Janae Wagner. So a freshman getting some action for the first time.
Two freshmen, two sophomores, and a senior on the court for the Lady Dogs.
Rice, quick swing pass around the perimeter. Open three for Dubs. No, off the iron. Worrell tries to save it. Somehow it was kept alive a little extra longer by Dinkelman, but goes out of bounds, last touched by the Vikings. With 1:45 left to go, and here comes Hayden Hansen now with the basketball. Slowly crosses the half-court line. Hayden Hansen to Worrell. Sponsing up for three again. Whirl for three. Something you don't really see Norwell World take a lot of is the three-pointers, again, with how effective she is in the paint. But honestly, if she can hit those at a pretty nice clip, that might be a tool that the Dogs might want to utilize a bit more. Out to the perimeter, Rice now on the baseline. Little 5-footer, no good. Irvin collects the rebound. And here it comes the other way. North Platte High. Hayden Irvin getting a screen from Wagner. Swings it to Hansen on the left wing. Hansen one-on-one with Rice. Back to Race. Now Irvin in the corner. Gets another screen. Hansen driving in through two defenders. Hey, how about Taylor Race for three? Yes! How about the freshman, Taylor Race? Checks in, and she hits a three-pointer, 54-27 with 43 seconds left to go. And now with it, Dubs on the perimeter, switched on to by Hayden Irvin. Bounce pass back to Dinkelman. Dinkelman gets past Hayden. Hansen, but she'll get the ball right back after a quick pass over to Rice. Dubs picking her dribble up. Back to Dinkelman with 6 seconds. Dinkelman into the corner. Chapman for three. No good. Fought for. Janae Wagner's in there to the mix. She won't get the rebound. On the floor with it are the Vikings. Still fighting for that basketball. And it will go the way of North Platte with a jump ball with 11.4 seconds left to go. And an inbounds now for Hayden Irvin to end this game. Maybe the Dogs can get one more shot off. 11 seconds, now 10. Hansen slowly up the court, getting a screen from Wagner. Hansen into the lane. Back out to Irvin. Irvin with 2 seconds. 1 second for three. Oh! And that is how this game will come to an end. North Platte High School fall just a bit short, 54-27. But really, honestly, Mr. Smeltzer, I love a lot of the things I actually saw in that fourth quarter. We talked about they needed to find something to at least make a little bit of a spark to how that game had been going so far. And
12 points.
12
that was our highest scoring quarter of the night.
And to be fair, though, a lot of that did come down to some good threes. So it kind of was a little bit of their saving grace in the grand scheme of things. But I think I saw a lot of better things out of the offense in that fourth quarter in terms of the ball movement overall.
You know, 2 of those threes are from freshmen, so you got to like that.
Yep.
It's only going to be a confidence builder and good for them, as the season progresses.
But unfortunately, in the end, though, North Platte High School does fall here to Grand Island Northwest and the Vikings 54-27. Step aside, take a break. When we come back, Mr. Smeltzer, we're going to talk about some post-game stuff. Here on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at northplattepost.com.
Personalized care with one goal, to keep you moving and enjoying life. Dr. Anthony Martin is now seeing patients at Great Plains Health Orthopedics, fellowship trained in hand and upper extremity surgery. Dr. Martin treats carpal tunnel, tennis elbow, arthritis, and trauma fractures throughout the body, and is fluent in Spanish. Schedule today at 308-568-3800.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Experience the beauty of downtown North Platte and enjoy lunch or dinner at the Cedar Room. The Cedar Room is an unparalleled restaurant experience with this unique atmosphere where modern meets rustic. Enjoy a handcrafted cocktail made with the freshest ingredients by a master mixologist while dining from their delicious American fusion cuisine menu. Make a reservation by calling 308-532-4825 or reserve online at thecedarroomne.com. The Cedar Room, 505 North Dewey in beautiful downtown North Platte.
We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Save money at the pump at Quick Stop with the Dino Pay app. Dino Pay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings. The Sinclair Dino Pay saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and For Real Shakes and Smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
In a lawsuit, a little extra liability protection can go a long way. I'm Justin Thompson at the Justin Thompson Agency. A personal umbrella policy from American Family Insurance offers $1 million or more of coverage over and above the limits of your auto and home policy. And it's affordable. Contact Justin at the Justin Thompson Agency at 501 South Dewey Street or call 534-2400 today.
American Family Insurance.
Ben is in a sticky situation.
I got so excited for my fresh-baked Runza cinnamon rolls that I forgot to grab a napkin.
Now you got cinnamon roll fingers, and they're so ooey.
And gooey. I can't grab a spoon to dig into my delicious homemade chili.
Maybe you should call for help?
Oh, I'll call my mom. Oh, I've ruined my phone.
Worth it, though. Come get Runza's homemade chili, fresh-baked cinnamon rolls, and a napkin today. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
It's the Quick Stop post-game wrap-up. Quick Stop never closes, with 24 locations open 24 hours a day.
Welcome back here to the Doghouse. Quick scheduling update. The boys basketball game will begin at 7 o'clock since this game ended so early. The JV game is yet to be concluded. So a little scheduling update. Boys basketball will begin at 7. So technically the original start time that many would expect when it comes to basketball. So a loss, unfortunately, though, in the column for North Platte High girls basketball as they fall 54-27 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. Jess Meltzer, quickly jump into the statistics because I want to talk a little bit about that fourth quarter offense for North Platte High School.
Yeah, individually, I haven't tallied up the team stats yet, but individually, Hayden Hansen had 2 assists. She did not get in the scoring column, but she had 2 assists. J.C. Burke, 3 points, 2 rebounds. J.C. Fox hit a 3, so she had 3 points, 2 rebounds. Identical stats there for those two. Hayden Irvin had 5 rebounds on the night, did not score. Abby Franzen did not score, but she had 2 assists and a rebound. So nice job distributing the ball there by Franzen. Adelaide Terry had 8 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. Her usual scrappy, hustling self. Only one in double figures was Nora Worrell. She had 10, 6 rebounds, a block, and 3 steals. Also hitting her only 3 that she attempted was number 11, Taylor Race.
Yes, the freshman getting her first, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, first varsity action this season. And, you know, I thought I saw a lot of things ball movement-wise in that fourth quarter that I was pleased with. When you see a team that's, again, missing, as you said, their 2 best ball handlers, your first thought is, oh gosh, the air in that basketball is going to be dribbled so dead that the offense is going to come to a standstill. I never really felt like the Dogs, from a holistic standpoint tonight, had trouble with their ball movement. I really have been pleased at how active this team has been, not just in this game, but this season as a whole, to really play with the tempo and not get bogged down in their own, slow, I think say slow reads, but their own passing, where then they get in trouble. It feels like they've been very good in trying to push tempo offensively when it comes to getting the ball out of their hands to somebody else instead of holding it, dribbling the air out of it, and then allowing a defense to get set up on the other end.
Just getting the ball across half court. Once they could do that, getting their offense, things didn't do too bad. What do we have there? 12 points in the fourth quarter, most points out of any quarter. And it was good to see that 6 of those points off 3-pointers were by freshmen. So future's bright. Again, they played hard the whole night. Again, they're not a great shooting team, kind of like the guys. And then without
your 2 best shooters.
2 best shooters, yeah. It gets a little wonky after that. They were 9 of 45 on the night. And as I dig in to get
from
my
the field,
phone,
let's.
I cannot figure that out. So 9 divided by 45 is 20%. So improved slightly over the first half where it was 19%.
Pretty good.
Yep. 3-point shooting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 attempts, and they made
4,
5 of them.
Oh.
5 of 15, 30%.
That's pretty good, honestly.
Hey, shoot more threes. Come on.
And again, we kind of saw it a little bit, and I don't know how I want to continue that motion in terms of Nora Worrell in that fourth quarter. You felt like got a little more active outside of the paint. She was having troubles with, a very active guard in Lakin Dorsey, who was, I wouldn't say getting the upper hand in terms of her positioning, but just in terms of athleticism, was able to jump in front of the passing lane and get a steal.
Oh,
and
thank
because
goodness.
of that, I was going to say, Smeltzer can get out of here and use the restroom real quick, but I feel like, I don't know if I feel better seeing Nora Whirl on the perimeter, but I do, if she's going to continue to shoot at a clip where she's hitting at least 1, 2 a game, maybe I can see that thrown in just a little bit more. And again, probably that's predicated in bringing back some of those better shooters and better ball handlers when it comes to, Peyton Jones and Josie Douglas. As we now jump into our La Casa del Rio's coaches interview, I'm joined by head coach Tyson Hammond. Coach, it's a pleasure to see you again, and you've been dealt again another tough card these last couple of games, being without 2 of your best ball handlers in Peyton Jones as well as Josie Douglas. But I think that's what's really positive to come away from this game and the last couple of games. It hasn't felt like the ball has just absolutely died on the offensive side. The team still looks like it's in a really good position in terms of pushing a tempo, or at least getting the ball out of their hands quickly to not allow a defense to get set up. And while the points didn't follow suit with that aggressive passing, you at least can sit there and feel good that you're not letting the defense get set up offensively.
Yeah, I thought we did a really good job of moving the ball. First quarter we weren't quite ready to handle what we needed to handle, but once we settled down a little bit, we did a good job of finding good open looks. We just got to make shots, and that's, the thing you see is sometimes there's a lot of really good things there, but when shots don't go in, sometimes it's hard to find them.
Yeah.
As a coach, they're easy to see. And if you're watching the game with kind of that eye, you see those things. But, sometimes as a player, sometimes as someone else that's watching, you don't always see all the good because you just see the ball not going in. And, obviously it's frustrating to lose. Nobody's coming to play a game with the idea that, yeah, we will lose, whatever. Like, everyone's trying to win. And I think we're doing a good job of being tough and competing. And we're doing things that we want to do, but we just got to find ways to put the ball in the hoop.
Yeah, and again, this is also a perfect opportunity for a lot of players to, a lot of coaches and people like to say, explore their game a little bit here. And I think it's in a positive way to explore their game because they've been given such a big opportunity with 2 players who see a lot of time, like Josie Douglas and Peyton Jones out. And I think a lot of, as you said, you got to really hone in on not just the statistics to see if somebody had a great game. And I thought a lot of those people that got expanded roles really made some good time with, of course, Adelaide Terry being one of the main ones. She came away with 8 points and 7 rebounds in this basketball game to go along with 2 assists as well. But also off the bench, Hayden Hansen getting a lot more playing time as a primary ball handler. So it feels, while maybe not in the position where you want to see it in the season, your 2 best players kind of go down to injuries, but it does at least give you some good confidence that when they do come back, maybe you can see a little more growth from these players that are getting more time to not only get acclimated to the varsity level, but maybe have more confidence in their ability, seeing things go in the way they did today.
Right, it moves everybody, into completely different roles, and that's part of the challenge. But challenges are good. Things aren't always supposed to be easy, and I think sometimes, kids, when they get uncomfortable and things do get hard, you see who's willing to meet a challenge and who, maybe doesn't really want to do it as much. And, a couple of those kids you mentioned, Adelaide Terry has been very willing to meet the challenge and has played extremely hard. J.C. Burke has been willing to meet the challenge, having to handle the ball a lot more and do things that are a little bit out of her comfort zone. And Hayden Hansen as well. And Nora Whirl playing, we went from early in the year, mostly just kind of trying to keep her around the hoop and keep her comfortable to now just saying, like, I don't care how uncomfortable you are, get out and play. And she's finding that she can do more than she probably thought she could. She can handle the ball more. She can take outside shots. She can drive. She can still flash and post up. And those things are the growth that we're looking for right now, because all those kids are young kids that have a lot of games in front of them, not just this year, but beyond that as well. So that experience, while we hope it helps us this year, even in the bigger picture, is the stuff that we know we're building on for the future of what we're going to do, because those kids are all young kids that are going to be back next year and have opportunities, and they're just getting a taste right now of what those roles will look like, and a taste of what it is to have people depend on you, because sometimes as a role player, it's easy to look at others and be like, we'll let them take care of it. But then when you step into those bigger roles, now people are looking to you, and it's a different type of feeling. And learning those things right now, I think, is really, really good for us. And those kids they're meeting the challenge. And even though the outcomes may not be what we want them to be, that's part of the process. That's part of the learning curve, and we're learning a ton right now, and we're getting better every chance we get.
And I think the great thing about, and you brought it up, kind of just the work rate of how this team goes. You saw today how kind of Grand Island was trying to defend, as you said, Nora World down low. It was a battle down there between her and Lake and Dorsey. Dorsey a little bit more athletic at her size, able to jump in front of the passes, but you saw that no matter how difficult things were getting in the troubles they had, the offense, sometimes getting the ball to Nora Whirl, she never stopped fighting. Same thing with Annalise Terry on the defensive side, not letting them drive easily into the basket. Hayden Hansing trying to take that ball up the court. And even in the short time that she was out there for about a minute and a half, Taylor Race spotting up a corner three. There's one thing that this team will never, ever lack no matter how many years go by, and that is always just the effort and the work rate that comes with it. And that's just a huge cultural thing that makes North Platte High so special, because it doesn't matter how many influx of injuries come about a team or just people graduating, you'll always know that the team is always going to work every single day to not only get better, but as you said, kind of expand their roles when called upon.
Yeah, that's, the things that we talk about, the two biggest things are always our attitude and our effort. And if we come in it with the idea that we're going to play for our teammates and not for ourselves, and we come in with an idea that we're going to play with relentless effort, if we do those two things, we'll always give ourselves a chance to compete. And the outcomes aren't always what they're going to be. Both teams want to win. So the outcome might not always be there, but we know that the effort we're going to play with, we know the expectation for that. And if we know that's going to be there each and every game, the other stuff are the things that we can get better at, working on skill, working on, X's and O's, whatever it might be. But it's got to start with attitude and effort. And when we do that, we always have a chance. And like I said, the outcomes aren't always there, but those are the things that give you a chance to build and keep getting better.
Before we let you go and we talk about McCook, kind of give us a quick little injury update to those two to see how they are progressing through their little bumps and bruises so far.
Yeah, they're still going to be out. I don't know that we'll have them yet this weekend. We'll see. I'm guessing we probably won't. Hoping probably more likely the hope would be next week when we go out to the Western Conference tournament.
Yep.
But we'll see. I don't know, but like I said, I'm leaning towards probably not having them back yet. So, that means everybody else is going to keep getting their opportunities, and we're going to keep getting better and growing because of it.
Yep, and of course, got two big games coming up this weekend. You got McCook on Friday at home before you go to York. Of course, you beat McCook last year in overtime in an absolute thriller where you really did get down to the bare bones of that lineup, of course, as everybody was in and out because of foul issues. So another tough, kind of almost rivalry game with just how close you two are. But a team that, of course, you overcame last year and came away with a victory. What kind of were some of those key takeaways from last year's game that you might want to, I hate to say continue to instill, but maybe utilize in this upcoming matchup, this time on home soil?
Well, I think it's a little bit of what we're already doing is whenever you get your chance, you got to be ready. Last year we had at this time of the year, we had a lot of people sick. And then in that game I think we were missing one starter, and we had a couple other starters that were sick, and we had people foul out. I think when we went to overtime, we only had one starter left. But it's being ready. You never know when your number is going to be called and when you're going to have to go in and be ready to play. And, that's not easy for adults, and it's definitely not easy for kids. But those are good examples of if you practice hard every day and you have a pretty good idea of what you're supposed to do, it gives you a chance, So, that's part of, being able to get in off the bench is everybody wants to play, but is everybody really prepared to play? And, if we think you're prepared, you're probably going to get a chance.
That's what you love to hear, Coach. As always, thank you so much for stopping on by. See you on Friday when you take on McCook.
Thank you.
That was head coach Tyson Hammond with our La Casa del Rio's coaches interview. Of course, bring your family, taste the flavors of Mexico, and be a part of the story at La Casa del Rio's 1911 East 4th, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 8. We're going to step aside for about 10 or so minutes, and we come back. We will have the boys taking on Grand Island Northwest and the Vikings boys from the Doghouse on FM 98.1 and AM 1410.
North Platte, K251CP North Platte, 98.1 and 1410. We're online too at northplattepost.com. The following is an Eagle Media Sports presentation. North Platte High Sports on northplattepost.com, FM 98.1 and AM 1410 are brought to you by
Justin Thompson Agency, American Family Insurance, Hands of the Heartland, La Casa del Rios, Dave's Place, Cole Jonason with High Street Insurance.
North Platte will reset the offense. Eli Broman steps back for three in the corner again. That is 3 threes for Eli Broman today. 9 points and a timeout going to be called by Alliance.
Al's Lock and Save, State Farm agent Bobby Holtz, Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan, Great Plains Foot and Ankle, The Fortify Group, Larry's Glass, Shelter Insurance agents Pete Bolt and Brett Rogo, Puro Clean.
Now to Gans. Gans. Oh, that's going to be stolen by Kaminsky. Kaminsky up the court now with it. Having Kaminsky Euroing up for the layup.
Oh, it's a left-hand scoop.
Great Plains Health. Great Plains Health Sports and Therapy. Jay Engel with Farm Bureau Financial Services. Runza. Double Dips. Merrick's Ranch House. Mid-Plains Community College. Szechuan Famous Food and Sushi Bar. The Cedar Room.
Here's the voice of the Dogs, Paxton Gordon.
Welcome back here to the Doghouse, FM 98.1, AM 1410. I'm Paxton Gordon alongside Jeff Smeltzer and the Kitty cheerleaders also here today. So that is fun to see for this boys matchup between Grand Island Northwest and the Vikings, who currently sit at 7-5 in their region, and then North Platte, who are 3-10. First off, stick it up to Mr. Fo Woodward on the one win this season. We're now at 3, breaking last year's mark, which is great to hear as well.
He did have his district projections out this week.
Did he? Those? I did not. Where are we at right now?
Had us against Fremont, and then the winner would play Creighton Prep.
Oh, so the number one team in the – is Creighton Prep number one?
Boy, I don't know if it's West Side or –
It's one of those three. Yeah. But, hey – Fremont, they're pretty good. This is their first. They'll be pretty good.
They've only got 5 wins on the season, so I would
We're two behind them. We are 2 behind them, by the way. But we're here to talk about some North Platte High basketball as the boys are taking on Grand Island Northwest. And, first off, congratulations to the boys for taking down their losing streak against Lexington, and really felt like a huge confidence boost to that team, not just offensively, but just in general. It has been such a strugglesome for that team ever since losing your leading scorer in Jonathan Ranke. The offense has been kind of hit or miss in terms of who's going to be that guy to really step up in his absence, who's going to be a consistent contributor from a points department standpoint. And it seemed like everything really came together against, Lexington. Now, Bennington, on the other hand, is a different story because, you're the first game in that long 4.5-hour drive coming off of the last game against Lexington last night.
We'll talk Lexington first.
Yes.
So I think they've gone 5 games without Jonathan.
Yes.
6 games without him. So they're starting to get things figured out, figuring out their roles. Lexington had beat Kearney Catholic the night before.
Didn't they lose to Loomis too?
Yeah. But I watched Lexington play Kearney Catholic. I was at home. I was on the exercise bike, and I was watching that game. And they played them tough. Kearney Catholic could not hit the 3 like they did against us. They were like 4 for 31.
Shocker.
So, they couldn't put it together, and the Dogs just mollywopped them from the get-go. 30-point victory, and then they had no time to enjoy it because the bus left at 6 o'clock the next morning for Bennington. 4.5 hours later, they're ready to play the Badgers. Really enjoyed the folks out there at Bennington. Nice facility, good people. As
a hockey fan, a schedule loss, unfortunately, because as you said, you're the last game of the night. You have to have a quick turnaround the next day to go to Bennington with no real warm-up per se, unless they got up super early for a shoot-around. So you were already on the back foot going into that game, and you could really see how that played. And also give credit, Bennington has, in the last 2 years we've played them, been a fantastic program in terms of what they produce from a basketball level.
Yeah, They went out and played Scottsbluff and Gering, beat Gering handily. Scottsbluff, I think they lost by 10 or 12. They're a legit team. They could make it to state. Bigger than I thought. They went 6'4", 6'5", 6'3".
Which is kind of abnormal for Bennington. They're more of that like streaky 3-point, smallish kind of team. So for them to bring some height into the program has been a marketable change to what previously we know Bennington for.
Yeah. Yep. And they had shooters too. They, on the season, I'll talk about this here in a little bit, some numbers I dug into. They're a 37% shooting team from the three-point line. One of the better ones you'll see in Class B. We held them 5 points below their three-point shooting average. We held them at 32%.
Which is pretty good, honestly. For a team that likes to shoot it up a lot, to hold them at 32%, you'd take that any day of the week. Oh.
Now, here's where the problem was.
I see Troubles walking her way up here as Miss Janelle Euling coming in and stopping by with a Snickers. Thank you so much, Miss Janelle.
She knew we were getting hangry up here, so she brought us to Snickers.
That's also true.
Gotta appreciate it.
We were just getting a little too out of the pasture.
So back to the Bennington game, we held them under their three-point percentage for the season, but rebounding-wise, they got 12 more rebounds in their season average. So,
yikes, ouch.
Now, to be expected, they had a definite height advantage, but looking over the season, on the year, the Dogs are giving up 7 more rebounds than every team's average. And it's a height thing, I think. We're outmanned height-wise every game we go into, and unfortunately some of it sometimes is effort too, getting a body on somebody. But one of the things that I found when I was digging into stats, I thought teams were killing us from the three-point line. But on the season, it's about even how many teams we have shoot below their three-point average and how many teams shoot above their three-point average. But I'd like to dig into it further. I think why it hurts is because when they make them, it's early in the game.
Yes, it's right off the rip, yes.
Right off the rip, they get a 9, 12-point lead, and then we can just never make up that ground. So,
and that's already a marketable improvement over last season, because our biggest complaints always were, gosh, every team comes in to either be the doghouse or we go to them, and they have their career best shooting year or percentage of the season against us. It just felt like every single game, every team was just able to have their best shooting night of the season. And that's like not saying that we weren't there to defend it, just even when we were, they were just shooting the lights out of the building. Now it feels like this year we're getting a little better adapted to that, and we feel a little better in terms of tightening down the perimeter defense. And unfortunately, we're just always going to have to go into every game thinking the rebounding battle might be either at a loss or at a just close, neutral spot. And that's unfortunately just because with your tallest member being Jonathan Reinke, who is out for the rest of the season. Which, shout out, good to see him back at least here in North Platte from a standpoint.
Even saw him take a couple shots in pregame warm-up.
Which is always good, but you know that is always going to be on your back foot, so you got to find other little small metrics to take away in terms of what can we do to limit what another team is doing, and really stopping teams at the perimeter, I think, is a great start, because as you said, most of the games this season in terms of who's shooting the best have been off the rip, because as a team like North Platte that is still trying to figure out its scoring all the way around, most teams just open up plus 10 off of those threes, and it just feels like North Platte has never found a quick answer ever since Johnny has departed for that.
And focus and effort tonight, because I watched Grand Island Northwest play York.
Yes.
They will shoot a lot of threes.
Yes, this is a team that will go to the perimeter a lot.
They will shoot a lot. Just depends on whether they're making them or not. And then one of the other things with the Bulldogs, playing that man-to-man, they play a philosophy. They're going to fight over every screen, and sometimes you can't get over it in time. I like that philosophy, but it takes a lot of effort to get there.
And this Grand Island Northwest team is an interesting team because they're not going to blow you away with height. You feel a lot better in terms of this matchup compared to previous matchups, because with previous matchups, man, you've had some overwhelming height down low. You think of Columbus. Kearney is an interesting example because while they don't have overwhelming height, they do have some good height. This team kind of falls right in line with what North Platte is, barring maybe more consistent 6'1", 6'3" type of players, but nobody that stands out like 6'6" or 6'7".
We match up a little better with them. 22 and 23 are really good.
Yes.
Urbanski and Wissing.
Yeah, Wissing and Urbanski, who are the two, many would say, best players on this Grand Island team. They are going to be the focal points when it comes to this team from an offensive standpoint. So that's somebody you have to keep an eye on.
23 is a lefty. He will attack, and he'll like to attack to the left. both really solid players. In fact, they've got 5 or 6 players that are pretty solid.
Yeah, again, they're 7-5 for a reason. This is not a team that is like you can scoff at and be like, oh, they're below 500. Keep an eye on these players because they're their only best. This is a well-rounded team. This is not just a team that is like focal pointed on 1 or 2 players. This is a team that consistently gets production through 1 through 5 and then through 6, 7, and 8 when they come off of the bench in a rotation. As we are just a couple moments away here from the opening tip on FM 98.1 AM 1410 and yes, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com. We'll step aside, take a break. We come back. Jeff Smeltzer will jump into our starting lineups as well as talk keys to the game here on FM 98.1 and AM 1410.
Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and is now bringing those services to the North Platte area. Residential services, respite services, community services, and even day services. Hands of Heartland offers a full array of services from 24-hour supports to just a few hours per week. Learn more today online at handsofheartland.com. That's handsofheartland.com. Hands of Heartland, providing creative opportunities to live and grow.
Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Nissan for your next vehicle. Look online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Bill Summers is Western Nebraska's leasing headquarters, and they have aggressive financing to get you into the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Check out all the inventory at BillSummers.com anytime. Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Nissan, where families are our business. Highway 83 and Walker Road in North Platte, and online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Head to Merrick's. Open Monday starting in February. Also, try the new Philly cheesesteak sandwich, the most authentic cheesesteak in the area. Merrick's.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back to the Doghouse, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and of course live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. Jeff Smeltzer, it is time to jump into our Double Dips Ice Creamery starting lineup. Double Dips Ice Creamery in the historic Canteen District in North Platte offers 24 plus different flavors of hand-dipped ice cream served in a variety of ways. As we get ready to rock and roll here today, I will jump into our starting lineups for Grand Island Northwest and the Vikings. Chase Sheffield, the 6'1 freshman, getting the start at guard. Jacob Wald, the junior at 6'3", and Jaden Brandt, the junior at 6'2". As you said,
He's
Dawson Urbanski, the junior at 6'2", and then Blake Wissing, the 6'3 sophomore, also getting the starts today for Grand Island Northwest and the Vikings. North Platte High School has some starters, of course. They're messing around a little bit in terms of who they're starting. We might have found a stable starting lineup. What do we have today, Mr. Jeff Smeltzer, for starters?
Junior number 2, Logan Hayes. Senior number 3, Sam Euling. Junior number 4, Jake Kincaid. At 6'3", the big man in the post. Number 5, 5'8" point guard, Jarrett Smeltzer as a junior. And 22, Reed O'Brien. 6 foot, I don't know what he's listed, but he plays over his height.
Yes,
Reed
he does.
O'Brien, a junior as well.
And that is the Reed O'Brien at 6 foot tall flat for Mr. Reed O'Brien. And you want to talk about somebody who has been kind of inserted into that lineup recently. It is Reed O'Brien. He's really
he's had 3 or 4 really good games in a row.
I was going to say, in terms of who was that guy that was going to step up and see his role expand and kind of morph into it, Reed O'Brien is that guy. And he is the perfect guy to have on your team. I mean, a really scrappy defender. As you said, while he may be only 6 feet tall, he plays much taller than his height suggests. And against a team like Grand Island that is going to be running and gunning for the three-point line, having a shifty defender and scrappy defender like Reed O'Brien might be perfect in this matchup here tonight.
Yeah, and against Bennington, he was up against 6'4", 6'5" all night long.
Yes, and that's a tough, and of course, unfortunately, that is a tough matchup for him single-handedly as Cade Freeze is working his way into the building. Of course, we said Jonathan Reinke back here as well. Taking the jump today, Logan Hayes. He has some tape over his left thumb. from his wrist to his thumb.
He's had that for 3 or 4 games now, and they control the tip. Grand Island Northwest does.
As he now comes up the court with it, the Grand Island Northwest Vikings. That was Sheffield. Now they fire to the near side here with Weising. Sheffield back with it, top of the three-point line, driving on Jarrett Smeltzer. Sheffield back out to Urbanski now. Urbanski in the left corner, showing and surveying what the defense offers. Good defense as Jarrett Smeltzer steals it away. Here comes the young Smeltzer up for the layup with the foul and the bucket. Jarrett Smeltzer, great defensive steal off of a bad feed from Urbanski. And Chase Sheffield has assessed his first foul, and North Platte opens the game with 2 points.
I'd say he learned that from his old man, but his old man never had those quicks. That was a nice quick play by Jarrett.
Jeff Smeltzer, more of the Akeem Olajuwon type of player back in the day.
He was my second favorite player.
As Mr. Smeltzer misses the free throw line, a commonality, unfortunately, for the young Jarrett Smeltzer. Not the best three-point free throw shooter. Great pass inside to Sam Ewing. Kick out to Reed O'Brien, who drives in the paint.
Fake.
Reed O'Brien is swatted away by Weising. He gets his own miss out to Smeltzer for 3. Overshoots it. And there is Dawson Urbanski, his first rebound today. To the near side, Brandt. Back to Weising. Weising now into the paint he goes, picks his dribble up. To the far side with it, Wald. Wald going baseline on Logan Hayes. Nothing doing it there. Back out. Driving in comes Jacob Wald again. Over to a 3 from Jaden Brandt. It's in. And there is Jaden Brandt starting things off with a 3 for Grand Island Northwest. And you talked about it in the Quick Stop pregame show. This Viking squad loves to fire from beyond the arc. As on the baseline, here comes one Reed O'Brien. He had to pick his dribble up, almost got it stolen away. Smeltzer now with it, guarded by Weising. Down low they go to Logan Hayes, one-on-one with Sheffield. No, he can't get the bucket to fall, but really good paint presence and pass into the paint from Ewing to Logan Hayes. As we already have a quick substitution, Gavin Burt in, I think, for the freshman Chase Sheffield.
Good crowd here tonight. Great turnout. Good student section.
I was going to say, is this the best crowd I think this season we've seen for the Bulldogs? As Logan Hayes, unfortunately, short on his first free throw.
The Lexington game had a good turnout too.
And that's good. You love, of course, when you've been away. Good heavens.
Yeah.
When you've been away from the doghouse for so long.
The 9-game away stint is over.
Yes, as Hayes misses both of them, and it's rebounded by Jaden Brandt. You do get to miss basketball, so great crowd today. Walt into the paint into a double team. Kicks it out to Urbanski, 3. In and out. Rebounded by Jake Kincaid. And now here comes North Platte the other way, trailing by 1. 3-2 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. O'Brien, quick pass over to Logan Hayes. He'll fire for 3. Logan Hayes, man. Beautiful stroke from Hayes, and it's now a North Platte lead, 5-2. Weising, back it goes to the freshly subbed in Gavin Burt. Burt into the paint, wide open for the layup. He blew right past 2 defenders.
Trouble when you're in a zone press and you try to get back to man. Sometimes your man is not anywhere near you.
Yes, especially if they're going to use that much tempo against your zone defense. Smeltzer on Burt, crosses half court, now trying to avoid getting trapped, and he does lose the basketball. Burt the other way, 2-on-1 fast break, and
no
a foul.
talk that time. Nobody talked on the Wolf coming from behind.
And that foul will go against the Dogs, I believe, was Sam Ewing.
Jarrett
Smeltzer will be the receiver of that foul. And now here comes Grand Island Northwest underneath the basket. Burt, bounce pass down low to Urbanski. Urbanski spinning around, and another foul as he was met by Jake Kincaid right in the heart of the defense. And it'll be Kincaid who has assessed his first foul. And that's kind of been some problems that we've seen in the losing streak. Dogs, and more specifically the lone big muscly fella in Jake Kincaid gets early into foul trouble.
Logan and Jake have to stay out of foul trouble. There's just not that much big man depth.
5-5 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard as Dawson Urbanski goes 1 for 1 from the free throw line. 6-5 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard.
Kurt Signetti making an appearance.
Shout out to now national champion Kurt Signetti. He's 2 for 2, Urbanski is. He has 2 points, and the other way comes North Platte. Smeltzer almost lost that basketball. He's now going to get trapped. Pass the ball up to Reed O'Brien. Now Logan Hayes with it. Hayes splitting through 2 defenders, slows down, and at least North Platte can set the offense up. Good screen from Kincaid, but Smeltzer won't fully take it. Quick feed over to Logan Hayes on the far side. Hayes driving. Hayes kicking to Reed O'Brien. O'Brien with 12 seconds. Into the corner he goes. In some trouble. To Sam Euling. 7 seconds. Lost the basketball, and that's pickpocketed away. The other way with it comes Jacob Wald, and then unfortunately for Sam Euling, he gets assessed with the foul. First foul for Sam Euling. Third team foul in this first quarter.
That's something to watch.
5 minutes left to go.
3 minutes in, yeah.
All the way up they go with it to Weising.
He's left-handed.
One-on-one with Kincaid.
He's going to spin back left.
He hop steps, fires one up off the back iron, and Jake Kincaid, good defense, good rebound. And now here comes North Platte the other way with Logan Hayes. Bounce pass to the far side to young Jarrett Smeltzer. Quick feed to Reed O'Brien. Back to Hayes. One-on-one with Urbanski. Oh, he gets right past his man. Good contact from Logan Hayes. He drives in to Jacob Wald. Actually, correction, that's going to be Jaden Brandt. And for the second time today, Logan Hayes will go to the free throw line. First foul for Brandt, as into the ballgame now will come Caleb Odell. The flamethrower three-point shooter for North Platte will check in as Hayes makes his first.
1 for 3 on the night.
Reed O'Brien will check out. Of course, the much smaller but better shooting Odell checks in. Of course, plays that six-man role so well with how good he shoots. A real game changer off the bench for North Platte High. Logan Hayes with his second free throw. It's up and in. Beautiful free throws. We have a quick timeout called by head coach Evan Swanson. And it is 7-7 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard with 4 minutes, 38 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Great turnout in the crowd, student section.
Huge
and
student
so far,
section.
And so far, North Platte meeting the answer at the bell when it comes to the aggression from Grand Island Northwest.
They are, and Grand Island Northwest is going to be aggressive. They're going to overplay. There should be some backdoor opportunities available. And again, watch that double team or that wolf defender coming behind you.
The wolf is almost kind of like it's like a spy in the backcourt. They're really just eyeing to come from behind.
That's just all about talking. Somebody's got to say that he's coming.
And that has at some points this season been a struggle for North Platte, has been their communication in terms of where people are on the defensive side, where people are trailing defensively. And while it's gotten better game by game, it is still a problem every now and then. Quick inbounds from the Islanders to the far side to Brandt. Jaden Brandt one-on-one with Sam Euling. Good defense from Euling one-on-one. The handoff now down low to Weising. Weising cross-courts it into the paint to a double team. Back out it goes. How about Weising up and under? But no, Jake Kincaid, yep. And head coach Jimmy Pack visually not excited, and because of that, Reed O'Brien has to check back in. Second for Kincaid, and to the free throw line goes Blake Weising. Now, I understand, it's going to be Reed O'Brien be that substitution, but have you thought potentially bringing someone like Bo Black in, who is much taller, while skinnier, at least brings height?
Or Gunnar Boyer.
That's also true, yeah.
Get some rebounds. And, hey, they got 5 fouls to work with. So
yeah, that's right, they do. Use them when you can. As Wissing's second free throw is up and in. He missed the first, but comes back with the second. He has 1 point. As Smeltzer,
now more of a zone
press defense. That bounces off of Gavin Burt. And North Platte will have a sidelines inbounds here on the near side. Hayes, backcourt into Smeltzer. 4:14 left to go here in this opening quarter of play. Only a 1-point lead for Grand Island Northwest. Down low, Reed O'Brien lost the basketball. Pivoting, O'Brien hop-stepping. Lost it again as it was stripped away by Gavin Burt.
Plenty of time, 17 seconds left on the shot clock.
4:04 left to go here in this first quarter. It's Jared Smeltzer with the inbounds. Smeltzer throwing it in the corner here to Reed O'Brien, and unfortunately, Reed O'Brien stepping out of bounds. Blake Wissing right in his face just forced him out. That's a North Platte turnover. I think their first today. Potentially.
Third.
Okay, I was going to say, don't quote me on that one. Brandt now to Urbanski on the right wing. Seeing what the defense has, bounce passing it to Wissing. One-on-one with Reed O'Brien. That's a mismatch. Wissing, up he goes. Shot is up. no good, as Gavin Burt touches it out of bounds.
Good defense by Jarrett Smeltzer digging at that ball. Caused him to lose it on the way up. He had to double grab.
And that's going to be the toughest matchup tonight if it is going to be Reed O'Brien on Blake Wissing.
Yeah.
As checking into the game now comes Kellen Dorsey. Of course, with Jake Kincaid so far with 2 fouls, that's going to be a kick ball violation on Gavin Burt. Yeah, but if again, we're going to have Kincaid in foul trouble all game, we're going to see Grand Island Northwest try to angle more to get the ball to Wissing and have him battle down in the block. Hayes bounce passes, and that almost is a turnover, and is it going to be a turnover? We'll see. They're going to get a call. I believe that should be North Platte ball as it bounced off of a Viking player.
They don't know. They're going to jump it up.
Jump it, and it will be North Platte's ball. Yeah. So now they'll have a sideline inbound to the near side and get a play set up.
And to be honest, I really wasn't 100% sure on that either.
There's
really
so many
quick.
people in that area. Yeah, I totally agree. As here comes the inbound from Logan Hayes once again. They get it this time successfully into Jarrett Smeltzer as he's one-on-one with Gavin Burt. Bounce pass now on the baseline to Euling. Good jab step from Sam Euling. Lost the ball for a second. Euling bounce passes out to Odell, who thought about the 3, but defers to Smeltzer. Hayes hit one already. Can't go anywhere with the ball. On Urbanski. Oh, good little penetration in from Logan Hayes with a bucket and a foul. No, an offensive charge. As that's the first for Logan Hayes, as Wissing will check out, but
you can live with that. That was a bang play. That was good.
But also
a good aggressive move.
Love the aggression, as you said. He really sliced through what the defense was giving him.
Yeah.
Found a soft spot, penetrated quickly, and more importantly, hit that layup. We've seen a couple of times.
Oh, we're watching the replay here. Yeah,
didn't fully get set, but enough in the official's eye for it to be a foul.
Can live with that. Oh,
Sheffield was checked back in as Burt fires for 3. No good. Fighting for that rebound, Logan Hayes, and a foul against Jaden Brandt. I just love the way that I'm seeing Logan Hayes fight in this first quarter. We've seen a couple of times this season that he has struggled with his finishing around the rim. So far tonight, in the little instance we've seen of it,
well with that one.
I was going to say he's finishing well. As checking back in comes Dawson Urbanski. Jaden Brandt checks out. Also in, Chase Sheffield. Reed O'Brien to Smeltzer. Smeltzer slowly up the court now, crosses half court, and now switched on to by Wald. Smeltzer hands the ball off to Reed O'Brien. He lost it, but keeps it within the half court setting. Reed O'Brien lost it again.
Wolf!
As there is stripped from behind Gavin Burt. Burt easily strips it away and checking in now. Harper Whitney now looking to check in. Beautiful move by Urbanski, but he misses the shot, and it's rebounded by Logan Hayes. Hayes now turning on the Jets, behind the back. Hayes into the paint, going baseline. Hayes cross-courts it over and out of bounds as it's last tipped by Gavin Burt. As checking in now comes Harper Whitney. Reed O'Brien out for the second time in this first quarter. Poor guy gets ping-ponged in and out.
Harper's played well the last 3 or 4 games as well.
And he's out of that leg brace and that leg wrap that we've seen, of course, therapeutic leg wrap. Of course, tearing his ACL last season against Omaha Benson. Or a season prior, against Benson.
Football injury in 24 and then came back for 1 or 2 games in football 25.
Yeah, last 2 games of the season, of course, Dog's best perimeter corner the season prior. Smeltzer with 19 on the shot clock. Odell will fire a quick 3. That looked like money, but it's off the front rim, no good. Gavin Burt collects the rebound. Up it goes to Wald. Wald, quick feed to Sheffield. Sheffield now penetrates into the lane. Back it goes out to Urbanski. Urbanski lost control of the ball, and it's still on the way. Up it goes to Jarrett Smeltzer. Smeltzer up for the layup. No foul, but gets the bucket. Tough finish for Jarrett Smeltzer.
Maybe he'd have the end one attempt.
9-8, but the other way, blowing the layup is going to be Kellen Dorsey. I mean, he had a wide open layup coast to coast. Blows it. As checking in now comes Grant Weaver. And
be smart, Jake Kincaid.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a risky move by head coach Jimmy Pack. Subbing back in, Jake Kincaid with 2 fouls with 1:44 left to go in this first quarter. If he gets another one, we most certainly won't even see him till the third quarter if we're lucky.
You're probably right about that.
Odell now with it, hands it off to Kincaid. Behind the back, Jake Kincaid, bad move. And he gets ringed up immediately.
And there's his foul, his third foul.
He ringed up immediately, reaching in on Gavin Burt when Burt was stealing the basketball, and I think we're going to have to go right back to the bench.
I don't even think he made it 10 seconds.
No, he did not. He made it like 5 seconds if we're lucky. And, Reed O'Brien checks right back in.
So now, effectively, Jake is out till the third quarter, so you're at a 6-man rotation.
Yeah, but now we're at 5 team fouls, so Grand Island Northwest is in the bonus. As making the first free throw, Grant Weaver. So, that is a tough little stint there from Jake Kincaid. Is also back in comes Blake Wissing. And, a perfect substitution there for Grand Island Northwest. The biggest player for North Platte gets into foul trouble. You bring back the big boy himself as well. Weaver, second free throw, up and in. And now it's a 2-point lead for Grand Island, a 1-point lead for Grand Island Northwest. They lead 10-9 as Logan Hayes the other way with it for North Platte High School. Into the corner to Odell, quick trigger 3, boom. Caleb Odell, you don't need much, but boy, he can make a difference when he comes in. As Wissing, quick feed now, Weaver, back over with it, Dorsey. Wissing in a double team. Dorsey in, blocked by Logan Hayes. And now here comes North Platte in transition with Logan Hayes. Hayes one-on-one with Burt will step back and allow the offense to reset. Whitney was open for just a second. Hayes spins back out, fires to Harper Whitney on a bounce pass. O'Brien one-on-one with Wissing. Odell now with it, top of the three-point line. 18 on the shot clock as he'll think about handing the ball off. Picks his dribble up and finds Sam Euling. 12 seconds. Logan Hayes with Wissing, jab stepping into the lane, and he's stripped away. Here comes Gavin Burt the other way. Up the floor it goes to Weaver. Weaver's shot is up, Weaver's shot is in. And we're tied 12-12 with 30 seconds left to go. North Platte will get the final shot. Yep, they'll get the final shot of this first quarter with the shot clock turned off. Hayes with it, bounce passes to Euling. Euling lost it for a second, now picked up and driving in. Euling with 13 seconds. To Harper Whitney. Whitney firing to Caleb Odell. He'll fire for 3. Oh my gosh, in and out. Rebounded by Blake Wissing. Now with 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And it's in and out from Jacob Wald. And that is how this first quarter comes to an end. Jeff Smeltzer, what an absolute crazy start to this game. We are 12-12 at the end of quarter number 1.
Up and down the court, shooting the ball pretty well. 3 for 4, 3 for 5, 4 for 8, 50% shooting. Great defense. You're going to see Northwest do a lot of back cuts, a lot of cutting to the hoop. They got some, nobody 6'4", 6'5", but they got a lot of 6'3" and 6'2" out there at the same time.
They're just very lanky.
Yeah, they are.
And
they get their hands in the passing lane, so you got to make smart passes. And as long as the dogs can talk when that wolf is coming up from behind. So a lot of good things. Like to see they're tied right now.
I think what's most important for me is, again, we know how aggressive this Grand Island team when it comes to perimeter shooting. So far, Grand Island hasn't really made a difference beyond the arc. It's just Jaden Brandt who has 1 3 in this game for the Vikings.
Yeah, they'll shoot them. You just hope you get them on an off night.
The problem now, I think, is we've highlighted many a times, is actually not going to be beyond the arc. It's going to be, what do you do in the paint? Your big man, Jake Kincaid, has 3 fouls. And if I was head coach Jimmy Pack, I'm not putting him in until at the third quarter at the earliest. So
you got to find somebody on that bench that can.
So Harper Whitney is so far slated to go up against Wissing, but again,
2-3 zone.
The Dogs go back to that zone defense. Sheffield with it, back in with the starting lineup. Passes to the far side to Dorsey. Back to Sheffield. Tries to split through 2 defenders. Kicks to Burt here on the perimeter. Down low in the paint. They go to Wissing, but it's stolen away. Sam Euling gets into the passing lane, and as we said, there's one guy defensively who has been superstar all season long, and it's Sam Euling.
Yeah, arguably their best defender. Gives 100% effort.
Quick 3 from Odell is way short, and it's Blake Wissing who comes up with rebound number 2. Almost caught Northwest napping. Sheffield on the baseline in a double team. Trying to find some help. Throwing it all the way back here to Dorsey. Now with it, Burt. Into the corner back here to Sheffield. They try to get it low to Wissing initially, but back to the perimeter we go. Bounce pass. Burt. Now to Wissing in the corner. They cross-court it down low. Back out. 3 on the way from Gavin Burt. In and out. Rebounded on the side by Grand Island Northwest, and Grant Weaver. His first field goal today, and we're now a 2-point deficit for North Platte, 14-12.
Don't usually see a 3-point miss drop straight down like that one did.
Yeah.
He was in the right place at the right time.
Logan Hayes, little floater, way short, and now it's rebounded by Grant Weaver again, and here comes Grand Island Northwest the other way, looking to make it a 4-point lead. Sheffield, wow, coast to coast. Chase Sheffield, the freshman, his first 2 points, a beautiful up and under.
I don't even think a timeout would be a bad thing right now.
No.
Wolf.
Throwing it back up to Harper Whitney. Back to Logan Hayes. He'll fire a 3. He has hit 1 already today. He hits another, and it's a 1-point lead for Grand Island Northwest. And man, oh man, Logan Hayes having a great night tonight at home.
Yeah, he hasn't shot many 3-pointers on the year, but
looking pretty
very
tonight.
effective.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back to that zone defense. Wissing floats one with the hook, and it's, man, up and in. Nothing else you can do there. Blake Wissing, 3 points. Had a beautiful little hook on a turnaround, and it bounces in, 18-15.
Had only attempted 29 threes on the year. That's about 4th most threes for the Dogs.
Now in the corner with it, Sam Ewing. Talk about somebody that should shoot a little more. Sam Ewing has been picking that up recently. Hayes, man, cutting through the defenders. Oh, Logan Hayes like a knife in butter, baby. He is just slicing through this Northwest defense. And here's some substitutions for the Vikings. 3 of them are about to be made. Wissing to a cutting in Burt. Shot is up. No, it's not in. But Sam Ewing there stopping Gavin Burt. But he'll go to the free throw line, and that's Ewing's first foul today. And the second personal foul, first team foul for North Platte. Checking in, Dawson Urbanski, as well as Jacob Wald and Jaden Brandt. So we're back to almost a starting lineup, depending on who checks in. Burt today, 2 points, 1 rebound as well. He will miss the first free throw.
Okay.
0 for 1.
Smeltzer in, and 2 more Vikings come in.
Who's he checking in for? Harper Whitney. So there's your center,
living
in good name.
A good minutes for Harper.
Tough matchup, of course. He had to go up against Urbanski in that zone. 18-17 the lead for Grand Island Northwest. And Gavin Burt makes one of his free throws. 1 for 2 with 3 points. Again, 3 members check in. Burt goes to the bench, as well as Wissing and Kellen Dorsey.
Man-to-man defense by the Vikings.
Smeltzer on that left wing now with the ball. Dribbling around, trying to find somebody open. Quick feed to Ewing. Going in on Urbanski. Ewing to Odell. Now to Logan Hayes in the right corner. Hayes dribbling with 17 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time. Cutting through his defenders again. Pivoting. Up he goes, and a foul called against Grant Weaver. Boy, man, he almost put Jacob Wald in the spin cycle. Now, again to the free throw line goes Logan Hayes. And he's so far tonight 3 for 4, if I remember correctly.
2 for 4.
Oh,
missed his first 2.
Oh, missed his first 2. Sad. Free throws for Hayes. Makes that first one. Also checking back in comes Blake Wissing.
I don't know what that was that fell.
Pom-pom.
Oh, okay.
Potentially, I think. I don't know. I'm trying to help you out there. So
just want to make sure it wasn't my Snickers that I got from Janelle.
It's right. Yeah, it's right.
It's right in front of me.
As Hayes makes another, so we're tied 19-19.
He's made 4 in a row.
And head coach Jimmy Pack makes a full team timeout.
12 points on the night for Logan Hayes.
We'll take it. Wow, yeah, we'll take a timeout real quick as well. And we can take it. Is this a full team timeout? No, it's a quick little 30-second timeout. But North Platte High School tied with Grand Island Northwest 19-19. I mean, talk about a great start to this game. Thanks in part to what you said, Logan Hayes leading the way for North Platte with 12 points. We've always had questions about who is going to be that guy that steps up offensively. And how about tonight, Logan Hayes getting it done in the paint, but also on the perimeter.
Let's see what he was shooting on the season from the three-point line.
You said only shot 29
attempts. 3-point excuse me. He was 6 for 21 on the year, 29%. Got messed up on my columns. So he's only shot 21 three-pointers before tonight, and he's 2 for 2.
Pretty good.
Yep.
That's pretty good. And we're going to need, of course, we need it tonight, because I think also if you give North Platte another three-point shooter besides Caleb Odell, I think that also helps Caleb Odell, because now the defense is not over-indexing on stopping Odell.
Well, it'd be nice
when he
to
goes.
have it be somebody other than Logan, because he's so good at driving, he can kick out to that other shooter.
Also true. Down low they go to Wissing. One-on-one with Reed O'Brien, who's checked in.
Take away his
Back
right
out
shoulder.
for three for Wald.
Short.
No good. Brandt collects the rebound. Wow, good defense from Reed O'Brien as Logan Hayes collects the miss, and now he's going to get in trouble. Oh, bad feed from one Logan Hayes. Down low they go to Wissing. Wissing, up he goes. Smeltzer got away with a little foul there.
He was trying to grab the jersey, keep that easy bucket from happening.
Blake Wissing now up to 5 points for Grand Island Northwest. 21-9, another turnover for North Platte. Urbanski the other way. Oh, almost stripped away by Jared Smeltzer. Little floater in from Jacob Wald, no good. He collects the miss. 2 points for Jacob Wald and his own putback, and that's a quick 4-0 swing.
Can't cross over these longer defenders.
4-0 swing.
Jared got picked trying to do a cross. Okay.
He almost did it again.
Yeah.
As Smeltzer now with the ball. Going to the other side, near side of the court, crosses over once more. Almost lost it again versus Urbanski. It's thrown off
much
of his
movement
foot.
there.
Yeah,
Come on, dogs.
Nobody on the offense was really moving around to help
there's
Jared Smeltzer.
Screens need to be set a little harder.
As we're on the outside with a sideline inbounds for Logan Hayes. Hayes gets it into Jared Smeltzer. Now Smeltzer guarded one-on-one with Urbanski. Hands it off to Caleb Odell. Odell steps back at the logo, guarded by Urbanski. Double team, Odell in a corner now with it. Sheffield. Logan Hayes with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Hayes driving it on the wall to one Caleb Odell, 3 seconds. Steps back for three, airballed it, and it's rebounded by Jacob Wald, his second rebound. Wald into the corner, driving in now Sheffield, and a foul
good
call.
foul, good foul.
No, the problem is that's the third for Sam Ewing.
Oh, bad foul.
So Ewing now has his third foul, and that's now him and Jake Kincaid who have 3 fouls.
I think you got to put Harper Whitney back in.
Yes, as he's looking towards the bench. Sheffield throwing it all the way back to Wald, and no, it's actually Brecken Korko who checks in. In the corner, Sheffield for 3. Off the front iron, rebounded by Urbanski. Urbanski backing down, and now fires all the way out for a Wald 3. He misses, and this time Sam Ewing comes down with the ball. Smeltzer with it. Smeltzer guarded by Urbanski. Smeltzer gets a screen. Urbanski doing some good defending, and then it's stripped away by the side of Jaden Brandt. Brandt to Sheffield. Sheffield at the free throw line. Back to Urbanski. Oh, man, he is wide open to the bucket. Misses it, but Wissing's able to collect it and put it back up and in. Now it is a 6-0 swing in favor for Grand Island Northwest. And I'd expect maybe at some point a quick timeout taken by head coach Jimmy Pack. Hayes trying to take it all the way to the rack, and a foul called. And guess who goes back to the free throw line yet again? It's Logan Hayes.
Well, they're going to say it was on the drive.
Never mind, so it's no free throws for Hayes. So Ewing checks out, Korko checks in with 2:30 left to go here in the second quarter. North Platte trailing Grand Island Northwest, a 6-0 run so far for the Vikings. O'Brien now on Wissing, spinning, stripped away, and a travel called by Reed O'Brien. 25-19 now. As up, here comes Sheffield with it.
They going back to man?
No.
Yeah, I think they are.
I think they are going back to man now, yep. So North Platte High School sticking with this man defense. Logan Hayes on Wissing. Sheffield into the lane. Sheffield's shot is no good, but Wissing gets another rebound. Wow, not a good shot as he kind of got collided with. And now the other way comes Logan Hayes before a foul is committed against Jaden Brandt, his second. Checking in Grant Weaver for Grand Island Northwest, as checking out Jacob Wald. Also, Gavin Burt checks in. And actually, yep, so the woman Chase Sheffield checks out. 25-19, Logan Hayes with an inbounds. Gets it in nicely to Smeltzer. One-on-one Smeltzer with Urbanski. Smeltzer behind the back, looking for somebody to pass to. Urbanski now swings it to Reed O'Brien. O'Brien back to Jared Smeltzer with 17. Smeltzer spin move, Smeltzer kicks. Reed O'Brien, corner three. O'Brien! Big bucket to stop the bleeding. 25-22, a Reed O'Brien three.
Nice drive, nice dish, nice finish.
As now, Wissing with it. Bounce pass down low to Urbanski.
And out of bounds. Oh!
Jared Smeltzer gets ringed up for a foul. That's team foul number 3 for North Platte, and Jared Smeltzer, that's number 2.
Second.
As Harper Whitney will check in, most certainly for Jared Smeltzer.
Yeah, I can't afford to have 3 guys with 3.
1:36 now, you're just hoping the Dogs can hold firm.
Close enough to halftime.
Wissing with that little inbounds alley-oop, puts it in. Blake Wissing, 9 points. I mean, that's just tough because he's so tall and athletic. You can just throw that little alley-oop for him to grab. Harper Whitney on the right wing, guarded one-on-one with Urbanski. Now looking to drive, at least to alleviate some pressure.
Wolf.
Watch out behind him, he's in some trouble now. Throws it all the way to Odell for a quick 3. Yes! You answer back with a big 3 from Caleb Odell, and it's only a 2-point lead for Grand Island Northwest.
Second assist by Harper Whitney. Good pass.
As Urbanski drives right on Harper Whitney as he got him jumping. Misses it as Wissing gets another rebound. I mean, he's on
left-handed,
number 5.
take away the right shoulder. Good.
Wissing up, no good. Fought for and rebounded by Reed O'Brien. Tenacious defense from North Platte to stop Blake Wissing from putting it back. 48 seconds left to go here in this first half. A 2-point lead for the Vikings. Reed O'Brien, tries to get it down low to Corco, but a bad feed. Turnover, and here comes the other way, Grand Island Northwest in Wald. Wissing in the lane, Wissing shot is up, offensive charge, yes! Blake Wissing gets called for the offensive charge.
Harper Whitney takes the charge.
Love to see that from the senior himself, Harper Whitney, and checking in now comes Kellen Dorsey.
Second one he's taken on the year. Ties him for the lead for most charges taken.
Now, good trivia question. Who is that Sam Ewing?
Harper.
No.
The other one.
Yes.
Jake Kincaid.
Oh, look at that. Big fella getting on the floor. Love that. North Platte will have the final shot of this first half, trailing by 2, 27-25. 21 seconds left to go. Odell around the perimeter with 18 seconds now. Calling for some help. Now hands it off to Harper Whitney. Most certainly they're going to try to give it to Odell. Whitney with 10 seconds. Whitney gets a screen. Whitney, over to Odell. Corner 3 for Hayes. In and out. Rebounded by Burt. His full court heave. Off the mark. Boy, man, that almost went in from Logan Hayes, but only a 2-point lead for Grand Island Northwest as we head into halftime. 27-25. Jeff Smeltzer, what a first half for the Bulldogs. Coming off of a tough loss to Bennington on Saturday, have answered the bell to a very aggressive Grand Island Northwest squad and are playing toe-to-toe with them.
Matching the aggressiveness. Super impressed with the Bulldogs with the effort this first half. Getting some shots to fall. Foul trouble concerns me.
Yes.
Got 2 of them with 3 going into the second half.
And unfortunately, those 2 that have 3 are 2 of your most important defenders in today's game. Jake Kincaid when he's going up against Blake Wissing. And then, of course, the super utility man that is Sam Ewing, who you can just plaster on anybody, and he's good defensively. Those 2 guys having foul trouble this early in the game, while yes, is bad, honestly, it's not been backbreaking for North Platte. So far, with those 2 being out of the lineup for most of this second quarter, it didn't really feel like North Platte was in too much trouble when it comes to their missing absence.
No. Harper Whitney played extremely well coming in. Again, another one of those undersized bigs. He might be listed at 6 foot. Great job by Harper Whitney. Took that charge. He had 2 assists. I think both of them were kickouts to Caleb Odell for 3s. Dogs have only attempted 16 shots this first half. 8 of 16, 50%.
50%, pretty good.
But 11 of those are coming from the three-point line, and they're 5 of 11 from 3. 45%.
That's 45%. That's pretty good.
Yep.
And honestly, again, that's what we wanted to see kind of offensively is the shots falling. We've seen so many games this season where our main complaint has just been, the shots aren't falling. They're getting good looks. They're just not falling. Tonight, man, they're on a whole different level when it comes to their field goal percentage. Now, the question is, what's going to happen first? Are we going to have a fallback to the mean in terms of percentages in the second half? Or could this be the night that North Platte finally, in their time, gets the majority, actually the shooting to continue to stay put where it's at right now tonight.
At some point it has to. You see them practice, you see them play pickup. They're too good of shooters to shoot this bad all year.
Yes.
So at some point it's got to break free.
And again, to be fair, they were shooting much better when, Jonathan Reinke was in, just because the way that offense is spaced with Reinke being in the post, who can also space it out for three. But now it feels like they've, as you said earlier, finally gotten to their, they know where they're playing. They know kind of what positions they're going to be doing in these types of games, and they feel more comfortable offensively. And I think also they're being assertive. They're not really shying away from driving into the paint or getting physical with the team.
Yeah. Just protect the ball. I got to reach up here and count the turnovers.
I think they only had 2.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 turnovers.
Doesn't feel that bad. It doesn't feel that bad. When you think, because I think that's what the girls had at the end of the first half, and that felt pretty bad. This one with 11, it doesn't feel like earth-shattering 11 turnovers. Still high, but not bad.
Oh, here come all the little bullpup cheerleaders. No, but do a little better protecting the ball in the second half. But credit that to Grand Island Northwest defense. They're very aggressive, have that reach. They're very long, picking the pockets and jumping some passing lanes. So I think part of that would be a little better screens on North Platte. I think they're letting Northwest get through the screens too easy. So they're having trouble finding an open teammate, and they're dribbling too long because they're just can't find anybody.
They're trying to find somebody, and if nobody's setting a hard enough screen to give at least some separation, because what Grand Island's doing is actually pretty genius. They're putting Urbanski out there, and you'd think Urbanski is more, if they're going to run this kind of zone defense, or at least man-to-man, they're going to put Urbanski closer to the paint area. But no, they're using his length to kind of disrupt the shorter guards that North Platte will bring out when it's like a Jared Smeltzer or a Caleb Odell, forcing them to, as you said, make those hard screens.
13's been out there on Jarrett, and he's
6'2", Jaden Brandt. They're really
6'2".
throwing a lot of their length at the shorter North Platte guards and kind of forcing them to get around them in different ways. And so far for North Platte, outside of, again, screen setting, they've struggled to find that separation, and that's where, as you said, those hard screens would come into effect to at least alleviate some of that pressure going forward. So we'll step aside, take a real quick break. We come back, quick stop, halftime show on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
It's the beauty of downtown North Platte and enjoy lunch or dinner at the Cedar Room. The Cedar Room is an unparalleled restaurant experience with this unique atmosphere where modern meets rustic. Enjoy a handcrafted cocktail made with the freshest ingredients by a master mixologist while dining from their delicious American fusion cuisine menu. Make a reservation by calling 308-532-4825 or reserve online at thecedarroomne.com. The Cedar Room, 505 North Dewey in beautiful downtown North Platte.
Every step should feel great, but if foot pain, bunions, heel spurs, or injuries are slowing you down, Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists is here to help. Their expert team of doctors provide top-notch care, from routine foot health to advanced treatments and surgery. Whether you're an athlete, always on the go, or just tired of aching feet, they'll get you back on your feet pain-free. Step into comfort. Call Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists today, or see them online at gpfootandankle.com.
In a lawsuit, a little extra liability protection can go a long way. I'm Justin Thompson at the Justin Thompson Agency. A personal umbrella policy from American Family Insurance offers $1 million or more of coverage over and above the limits of your auto and home policy. And it's affordable. Contact Justin at the Justin Thompson Agency at 501 South Dewey Street or call 534-2400 today.
American Family Insurance.
PuroClean of North Platte delivers fast water, mold, and fire damage restoration services to the North Platte area. PuroClean knows how challenging those times can be to you and to your family. Their Nebraska-based experts have a winning, reliable combination of training and equipment partnerships. Local, fast service in the North Platte area. Their average on-site time is 60 minutes, and they'll coordinate with your local insurance provider. Give PuroClean a call now at 1-800-775-7876 and schedule a visit from a member of the team at PuroClean in North Platte.
The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Head to Merrick's. Open Monday starting in February. Also, try the new Philly cheesesteak sandwich, the most authentic cheesesteak in the area. Merrick's.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to the Quick Stop Halftime Show. 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Jeff Smeltzer, Paxton Gordon here. What a great atmosphere, man. See, as you're chewing on your little candy over there.
Yeah, just popped an M&M.
But, man, what a great atmosphere it is here tonight at North Platte High in the Doghouse. I can't say it's been a while since we've seen something of this magnitude, but just hearing the overwhelming cheers, from a great play, just kind of warms your heart up.
It's been a minute since I've seen a crowd this big. And it helps when you have the young cheerleaders here because that brings a few extra parents to the event.
But just in general, man, everybody is super excited to be here.
You got two sections almost all the way from the floor to the top.
I think that ever since that was the last time I've seen those two sections that full were, of course, my first year when you had guys like Carter Kelly, River Johnston, Daniel Shea, Gifford, other Kincaid.
Student section halfway up, that's
pretty good on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
on a Tuesday night. But you know what else is pretty good, Jeff Smeltzer? How about only a 2-point lead for Grand Island Northwest? North Platte came into this game suffering a really tough defeat to Bennington. And yes, we know Bennington is a great team, so seeing a score like that isn't something that we are at all shocked about. But I think what's more important and the thing that we love the most to see here is the response that North Platte had. They didn't really let that Bennington game get to their head. What you're seeing is a lot more of that Lexington game, where the ball is popping, the ball is moving, and North Platte is staying aggressive on the offensive side of things.
Yeah, Bennington game was not their best effort. They weren't focused. They knew that. But to come back tonight and play super hard, a little more focused tonight. They're fun to watch tonight. They're playing really well as a team, sharing the basketball, playing good aggressive defense. Now just stay out of foul trouble in the second half.
And that really is the main negative I just have, is like what this half could have been if a Sam Ewing or a Jake Kincaid did not commit, unfortunately, 3 fouls in that first couple of minutes of the first and second quarter.
So continue the hot shooting. That has not been the case most of the season. They haven't shot the ball that well.
Yes. But I think they also need to be aware that the average could come down. We've seen a couple of times, this also is predicated on a lot of the college ball I've watched, teams are having great nights from beyond the arc, but they live and die by it thinking that's going to continue. Just because you're shooting really well from beyond the arc right now does not mean that's going to carry, and you should focus in on that when you still should be playing to what made that first half also so good, and that was the drives from someone like Logan Hayes, Reed O'Brien. Continue to penetrate into that defense and force Grand Island Northwest to collapse with their bigs like they have been doing, which then, as you've said, would allow someone like Caleb Odell to be open more often.
Yeah, and we know as a season, they have not, I think they shot the ball like 28% from the three-point line, which is the national average.
Which, to be fair, for North Platte, pretty good. To be honest, pretty good for North Platte as a team.
Yeah, to be shooting 45%, 17% above your average. I hope it doesn't come down. We're due for some above average nights.
Yes.
So.
Knock on wood. Let's quickly jump into some game stats here. I'll start with Grand Island Northwest being led by Blake Wissing, man. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He's just going to be that guy that's just going to get his points just based off of the height matchup he's going to have in that paint. But for him to only have 9 points, 5 rebounds, at least a positive start for North Platte. And then second on the team is 4 points for Grant Weaver, 2 for Dawson Urbanski. That's a guy that's been shut down pretty well by the Dogs so far, is Urbanski. 3 for Jaden Brand, he hit 1 3. Jacob Wald with 2 points, Chase Sheffield with 2 points, and then Gavin Burt with 2 points, and that's only the scoring here for Grand Island Northwest and the Vikings.
For the Dogs, Logan Hayes has 12 points on 2 of 3 from the three-point line, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Next is Caleb Odell, 6 points, both of them coming from distance from the three-point line. Jared Smeltzer has 4 on 2 drives to the hoop, and Landon. Reed O'Brien hit a three-pointer, and that rounds out the scoring for the Dogs.
So keys that I need to see on an Owls lock and save keys to the second half continue to be aggressive and penetrating into the paint. Logan Hayes had a great time in the first half doing that. They need to continue to keep that up. If we want to see that streak continue of good shooting from beyond the arc, specifically in this game from a percentage standpoint, they need to continue that type of offense. And then defensively, just hold back on the fouls. That's what's really killing you so far is the fouls.
Jake Kincaid, you're a 4.0 student, National Honor Society. Be
smartest
smart
guy,
here.
I know, smartest guy around.
It could be the smartest guy on the court. Now be smart, don't foul here.
So here's
we need you on the court.
And I was going to say, here's the deal. So we are starting that second half with both Ewing and Kincaid in. I was wondering if Coach is going to be a little more selective and safe starting this third quarter with keeping them out. But he has full faith that they will not be committing too many more fouls going forward and has them in the ballgame. Hayes driving in now to a double team. Hayes now tried to kick to Jake Kincaid, but it's turned over. The other way with it comes Wald. Wald one-on-one with Ewing. Stops, pops out to the perimeter to Brandt. Now Wald back with it. Wissing into the lane, kicks it out. Here comes Urbanski. Urbanski into a double team. Urbanski back to Wissing. He'll fire from the free throw line. No good. Jake Kincaid gets the miss. Good defense from the Dogs. Logan Hayes on the far side perimeter now with it. Quick pass to Smeltzer. Getting a screen is Jared Smeltzer. Another screen for Smeltzer in the corner. Trying to get it down low to Kincaid. Now swings it out to Reed O'Brien. How about Logan Hayes with it? Jab stepping. On Urbanski he goes. Double team. And a foul called against Blake Wissing, his second. Reached in that behind when Logan Hayes was trying to spin back the other way. And that's the first team foul for the Vikings. Second for Blake Wissing. Hayes with the inbounds, quickly in to Kincaid. Kincaid to a cutting in, Reed O'Brien. Oh, he overshoots the layup, and it's turned over, and that's a rebound.
That play.
Yeah, Wissing collects number 6. Wide open, Jacob Wald 3. He misses, and second rebound for Kincaid. Now North Platte with tempo. Hayes
no numbers.
On Urbanski. Up for that. Wow, what a shot that was. No good. I mean, that was a heave. Asking for a foul, but he won't get it. Number 7 in the rebound department for Wissing. He was looking, Logan Hayes was, for a foul. Oh boy, what a move by one Jacob Wald to find a soft spot in the defense, get behind his defender, and it's the first 2 points of this second half now for Grand Island, up 29-25. Kincaid with it after the bounce pass from Smeltzer at the top of the three-point line. Hayes in the corner, now driving baseline on Urbanski. Oh, bad feed again from Logan Hayes, and that's 2 straight turnovers for Logan Hayes to start this half. Wald for 3 in transition, short, and Reed O'Brien collects the miss. Couple of missed opportunities offensively for North Platte off of some poor passing. Can they finally stop the drought scoring as checking in comes Gavin Burt. Kincaid, left block with it. One-on-one with Wald. Kincaid now driving, trying to avoid a double team. He floats up a 10-footer off the mark. Smeltzer trying to get it, but it's actually Logan Hayes who comes down with the rebound on the far side. Smeltzer in the corner, bounce pass to Reed O'Brien, just out of his reach. Oh, and it's gonna be saved somehow by Kincaid. Now Logan Hayes with it, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, pulls up for 3, airballed it.
I think it was blocked on that attempt, but shot clock ran out.
Not a good start to this first couple of minutes in the third quarter for North Platte. 29-25 on our State Farm agent Bobby Holz scoreboard. We meet you where you're at, help you get to where you want to be. As always, I'll shout out Miss Bobby Holz for helping me during my apartment flooding. She and her team there were fantastic to work with and fantastic to help me when I needed
Jared
it.
Smeltzer's third,
and that's now, as you said, 3 for Jared Smeltzer.
Bumps him on the drive.
Third North Platte player to enter the 3-foul territory. First team foul for the Dogs. With 5:21 left to go, a 29-25 lead for Grand Island Northwest. Sheffield stepping all the way out to the perimeter, one-on-one with Smeltzer. Sheffield back in Smeltzer now looks to cross him over. Far side pass, Burt open for 3, it's in. And Gavin Burt hits the second 3 for Grand Island Northwest today, and it's 32-25 and a timeout called by head coach Jimmy Pack. And that is a tough way to start this third quarter for the Dogs. 5-0 run for Grand Island Northwest.
3 minutes in, Dogs have expended a lot of energy and no points to show for it. Keep playing with that effort, keep playing hard.
It'll fall. The thing that's been the real kicker to start this third quarter has been the turnovers. Logan Hayes has made a couple of drives into the basket to try to kick back out to somebody on the perimeter, but he throws it right into the arms of somebody in the middle of the defense that he just does not see.
And there was a few near turnovers where there's some scrambles and the Dogs retained possession, but value the basketball.
That's the most important thing.
Passes,
yep,
yeah.
and I think that's what made that first half so successful is, you said those deliberate passes, but they were clean with those passes and not making careless mistakes that we've seen to really start this second half. And credit to Grand Island Northwest, they are capitalizing much better in the start of the second half off those North Platte mistakes.
They are, and are they 2 for 2 from the three-point line, or have they hit?
They've only hit 1 3, 1
Okay.
3, and then a 2 from Wissing, if I remember. Oh, excuse me, from Wald. Timeouts are brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. See them on the one-ways at 621 South Dewey. Sweet B for all your farm, crop, auto, home, and commercial insurance, as well as Justin Thompson Agency with American Family Insurance with the ever-changing industry standards. He and they pride themselves on top-notch customer service, no matter what type of insurance you're looking for. Bad inbounds from Reed O'Brien, and then a put-in from Gavin Burt. You want to talk about careless mistake with the basketball. There it was right there from Reed O'Brien. And now it is a 7-0 run for Grand Island Northwest to start this third quarter. 34-25. It's now a 9-point lead for the Vikings. Kincaid picking his dribble up, bounces it out to Sam Euling. Euling at the logo, guarded by Sheffield. Drives in on Sheffield, into some trouble, lost the ball. Kincaid now with it, up and under. Oh, and it's in from Jake Kincaid. Big move for the big fella with an up and under. And there's his first 2 points of this quarter.
Get a stop, White. Get a stop.
Burt on the far side. Oh, almost stripped away by Sam Euling. Quick feed to Urbanski. Down low to Wissing. Wissing one-on-one with Kincaid. Don't foul him. Urbanski now drives on Logan Hayes. Beautiful first step for Urbanski. Wissing up for a shot. No good. And then a late foul by Logan Hayes on Gavin Burt. And now checking into the ball game comes Grant Weaver. And there's the first free throws in this second half for Gavin Burt. Second for Hayes, as Caleb Odell looks to check in for North Platte High School. It was good initially, but you know what causes fouls in the second possession? Getting an offensive rebound. And
they had a pair of those offensive rebounds.
Gavin Burt makes his first free throw in this attempt. He's 2 for 3. Jarrett Smeltzer checks out. Caleb Odell checks in. 35-27. So I update our score here a little bit. Burt misses. Kincaid fights for it, and he gets the rebound. 3:55 left to go in this third quarter. 35-27.
6 rebounds for Kincaid, and he hasn't played as many minutes as normal.
Quick trigger 3, unfortunately, for Caleb Odell is going to top the hit the top of the.
Got the guide wire out there.
I always lose my mind.
That happens at least once a game.
35-27. Now up here, Burt. Dogs going with that zone trap defense in the full court. Now go back to their zone defense. Swinging out to the far end. Driving in now comes Ward. Ward up for the shot. Offensive charge against Jacob Wald. And you know who that was? Reed O'Brien picking up a charge.
Trying to figure out how many that's been this year that he's taken.
Feels like he should be the leader in terms of charges this season for North Platte. Just the way he plays.
Yeah, he's tied at 2.
All right,
he's tied with the other leaders.
3 members now, the Dogs team, with 2 charges on the season. Hayes getting a screen from Odell. Quick feed to Odell. Starts dribbling around the perimeter. Now quick feed in to Euling. Euling hop stepping. Euling, little floater. No, it's short off the front iron and rebounded by Gavin Burt, his third. Burt up the court with some speed to Jacob Wald. Wald in on the floor. Will they, I think they count it or on the floor?
I think it's going to count, and I think it's going to be on Reed O'Brien.
Yeah, they'll count. Oh, they'll count on the floor. So it's a foul on the floor, so Reed O'Brien picks up his first foul, and to the free throw line now goes Jacob Wald, and they will actually count that bucket.
Yeah.
As checking in now comes Kellen Dorsey. Urbanski checks out. Largest lead today for Grand Island Northwest at 10. 37-27 as checking in Harper Whitney for North Platte. And that's a made bucket for Jaden Brandt, his first point of this second half. Kincaid with the inbounds as Sam Euling goes to the bench to get some rest. Logan Hayes up the court, yet to score here in this third quarter. Odell, Whitney. drives past his defender. Whitney on the baseline. Crosses it over to Odell. Quick feed to Logan Hayes. Ooh, he thought about driving, but good defense from Dorsey. Caleb Odell on the perimeter. Shimmies and shakes, and it's almost stolen away by Gavin Burt. Logan Hayes, up he goes! Logan Hayes! Man, he has some really good finishing today, Logan Hayes
Nice
does.
finish, Logan. Good hands to save that basketball.
As now Burt, quick feed over to Kellen Dorsey. Now with it, there's Wald. Wald's little floater. Wow, off the backboard and in from Jacob Wald. Good use of said backboard, and it's 41-29. Whitney spinning into the lane, lost the basketball, and it's picked up by Grant Weaver. All the way up now to Wald, who lays it up and in. And now the largest lead today for the Vikings, 43-29 with 2:05 left to go. In this third quarter, it's just slowly but steadily falling apart for North Platte High School on the offensive side of the basketball. Whitney on the right wing with it, trying to get it down low to Kincaid. Good feed into a double team. Kincaid in some trouble, spins out. Quick feed to Hayes. Hayes now driving on Sheffield. Hands it off to Odell for a trigger three. No, that's going to be short. And rebounding it there is Grant Weaver. Not a good offensive possession for North Platte as in transition. Wald up and in for an easy layup. I mean, that is
about 3
that is now
layups in a row.
That
for
is
Wald.
6 straight points for Jacob Wald in these last 3 possessions. It's 45-29. And now checking back in comes Sam Euling and Jared Smelter for North Platte High. And a quick foul called against Gavin Burt.
And Brecken Corco now joins him at the scorer's table.
So a 3-man substitution also checking in. Dawson Urbanski and Jaden Brandt for Grand Island Northwest. As again, as I said, the Dogs offense has really fallen off a cliff in this third quarter. Mostly due in part to self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah. Oh, not there.
Quick feed to Corco. Corco now quick into the corner to Whitney. Whitney driving baseline. Whitney back out to Logan Hayes. Hayes spinning in the lane but steps back out and will survey what the defense offers. Harper Whitney now with the ball to Corco. Corco picks his dribble up and needs some help. Bounce passes to Euling. Harper Whitney drives. Harper Whitney shot is up. No good. Corco trying to fight for it. Ball is still on the floor. Corco can't get it. And it's out of bounds. Last off of Brecken Corco.
That's his game. He's going to give you a lot of energy.
But another offensive possession that falls flat with 51.8 seconds left to go in this third quarter, a 45-29 lead for the Vikings. That one bad feed, picked up by North Platte. Intercepted at Harper Whitney. Bounce pass to Logan Hayes. Hayes spinning into the lane. Hayes blocked, man. As that's blocked by Jaden Brandt. And the other way comes Weaver. Burt into the lane. Burt shot is up, no good. Fought for and rebounded, man, by Jaden Brandt. In the air, somehow is tipped to Brandt. No good. Fighting for it is Sam Euling. Up now to Harper Whitney. Whitney, oh, bad feed, stolen away by Burt. As Grand Island Northwest going to slow things down. I say that, Urbanski into the lane. Urbanski fighting with the ball for Logan Hayes, and a foul is going to be called against Hayes. There again, talk about it, the self-inflicted wounds. It was a 2-on-2 fast break, but Logan Hayes never saw that, Harper Whitney never saw that second person trailing behind.
Here comes Bo Black to the scorer's table.
As talking about somebody who, as you said, has been seeing a little bit of increased time and has looked pretty good in that Bo Black. Gunnar Boyer also part of that mix of young talent that are getting some senior varsity level experience.
Bo is a 6'3 sophomore, and he's got some ups too. He can jump.
As that floater from Wissing is no good. Another offensive rebound, this time Gavin Burt. A deep three to end the third quarter is no good. 45-29 the lead for Grand Island Northwest. As checking in Jake Kincaid and Reed O'Brien. Timeouts brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortified Group, serving Nebraska and the surrounding areas for over 50 years, as well as these other sponsors for today's game, Dave's Place, as well as Puro Clean, Great Plains Health, Great Plains Sports and Therapy, Jay Engel with Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Runza. John Clanton in the building here today.
Well, he needed to be here in the first half.
That is true.
Yeah.
Jake from the Telegraph
not
Jake? Here.
Yeah. Noticeably absent is Jake.
Probably at that St. Pat's game if there's one tonight. I don't think there's a game tonight. No, there's not.
Okay.
I will see where he's at. But we also need to see where that North Platte offense has gone because it fell apart in that second quarter.
Oh, they
45-29 the lead for Grand Island Northwest.
took a page out of the girls' playbook and decided to only score 4 points in a quarter.
Yep, and unfortunately it gives me shades to last season where those third quarters were the epitome of North Platte's offense.
Yeah, and they gave up 18 points, and yet that's not good either.
Yeah, you can't give up 18 and then in answering only score 4. You know, that's how, again, just like last year, that's how these games that were close ended up not being close.
You know, a spark by number 12.
Jacob Wald, number 12.
3 consecutive drives to the hoop.
3 consecutive layups, yes.
Yeah, 6 straight points.
He was that big difference maker for Grand Island Northwest in that closing parts.
Dogs are going to try a 2-3 zone here.
So they're switching it up. Bo Black is still in the game. Euling and Reed O'Brien have checked in for North Platte High School.
Giving Logan Hayes a break here.
Well worth it. He hadn't had a break all game today. Into the corner now. Man, wide open. Jacob Wald for 3. He misses it, and Reed O'Brien collects the miss. And here comes North Platte. 7:40 left to go. Again, they just need to find one bucket to get something going offensively. Most importantly, don't turn the ball over. Kincaid hands the ball off to Euling. Euling spinning. Euling up and under, lost the ball, but gives it somehow to Jarrett Smeltzer. I don't know how he didn't travel. Smeltzer for 3, in and out. Blake Wissing with his 8th rebound. Man, I do not know how Sam Euling did not turn that ball over. Sheffield passes it back to Wald. Back to Sheffield. He drives into a double team. Spinning back out. Again, that Dogs with that 2-3 zone defense.
Really extending it.
Urbanski now into the lane. Cross courts it over. Wide open 3 for Jaden Brandt. He hits it. And there is, that problem with going with a zone like that. A cross-court pass just completely breaks it apart. And if you're a good three-point shooting team like Grand Island Northwest is, you just can't leave a team open like that.
I like the idea of a zone, but against a team like this.
Is that stolen away by Jaden Brandt. Reed O'Brien turns it over. Wissing up for the shot, and it's up and in. Blake Wissing, 11 points, and again, it's just all stumbling apart for North Platte here in this third and now start to the fourth quarter. Smeltzer picking up his dribble, back to Kincaid. Getting a screen from Bo Black. Kincaid, Bo Black didn't spin and go into the rack, and it's a turnover for North Platte. Up to Urbanski. Urbanski Euroing up for the layup, no good. Tipped in the air. Wissing puts it back up himself with a hook. Another offensive rebound for Blake Wissing. 13th point, 9th rebound.
Getting beat bad on the boards again.
In the corner now, O'Brien drives into a double team. He hop steps. O'Brien up for the shot, and it's blocked, but a foul called against Jaden Brandt. As Logan Hayes is at the scorer's table to check in for Grand Island Northwest. 51-29. Also checking in for the first time, Aiden Ayres. Reed O'Brien's first attempts tonight. Oh my good heavens, and then toilet bowls in and out. So Ayres checks in, and then Logan Hayes checks in for Bo Black.
Touched every part of the rim.
But the nets.
Wouldn't go down.
Yeah, but the nets, unfortunately. So 0 for 1 from Reed O'Brien in his lone attempt so far tonight. O'Brien's second. No good on that attempt. Almost picked up by Kincaid. But there's Urbanski picking up rebound number 2. In the corner now to Wald. Wald to a cutting Wissing. And then, a foul. Who is that? If that's Kincaid, that's now number 4. Yep, that's the 4th for Jake Kincaid.
I'd keep him in.
Gavin Burt checks it. Yeah, at this point in the game, you just got to cut your losses and just keep anybody who has foul trouble in. To find some smart as Dawson or Urbanski
do something
checks
to try and
out.
get back in the game.
Yes. Throwing it all the way out to Gavin Burt. It goes into the backcourt. Burt picks it up with 5:50 left to go. Here comes the Vikings setting up once again. Burt, man, wide into the lane to Ayres. He drives on Smeltzer, kicks it back out to Sheffield. Fires it back to Burt. Burt in the mismatch. Good double team help from Jarrett Smeltzer. And now around the perimeter we go once again. The Vikings hop step for Wald. He misses it badly. But he gets another rebound on the offensive side to an Ayres 3 that's off the mark. Wissing going to get another one. That's number 10. And then a block against Sam Euling. You know, we talked in the we've talked in the pregame about the rebounding situation. It didn't feel that bad in the first half. In the second half, man, oh man, Grand Island Northwest is just pulling down every offensive rebound so far. So Wissing's first free throw is off the mark. He's 1 for 3 as Caleb Odell checks in for Kincaid, so they will take Jake Kincaid off as he and head coach Jimmy Pack can have a conversation as he goes to the bench. Another free throw in and out. Strong rebound by Logan Hayes. Hayes on the far side of the court. Picks his dribble up to Odell. Odell, one-on-one with Sheffield. Steps back out with 5 minutes to go. He drives in the baseline. Now picks his dribble up. Bounce passes to Sam Mueling. In that corner, they're trapped. Smeltzer. Reed, back to Smeltzer. Firing for 3, Jared Smeltzer. Boy, again,
man.
in and out. Man, the Dogs, as I said,
That's
unfortunately.
been his season from the three-point line. They just rattle in and out every time.
And they are, unfortunately, the Dogs coming back to earth when it comes to their shooting percentage. Like I feared. Aries passes it all the way back to Sheffield here on the near sideline. One-on-one with Odell, getting a screen from Wissing. Sheffield, some good penetration patiently. Passes it back out to Burt. Burt with 10 seconds on the shot clock. On the baseline, pivots, crosses it over. Now in comes Wald. Bounce pass down low. Wissing with an easy bucket. And then a foul. Man, the offense is just clicking on all cylinders now for Grand Island.
Good unselfish play that time.
Yeah, Grand Island Northwest is just getting everything they want offensively. And North Platte struggling to find a way to stop the bleeding on this ship. As Kellen Dorsey checks in for Chase Sheffield. That is foul number 4 for Logan Hayes. And then a made bucket by Blake Wissing.
Boy, he caught up to everybody quick. I thought he was in good shape for foul trouble.
Yeah, he really has caught up quickly. 4 fouls personally. Only 3 team fouls this quarter. 54-29 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. The Dogs have still yet to score in this fourth quarter as head coach Jimmy Pack will take a timeout. You had 4 points in the third quarter. So far, 0 points in the fourth quarter. And it just, again, boils down to offensively, the Dogs are just shooting themselves in the foot. They're getting, granted, they are getting some good looks and they're not falling. But a majority of how this lead has stumbled out of control was that their mistakes just finally crept up to them too often, too early.
Yeah. They made the mistakes in the first half. They had 11 turnovers, but a lot of them didn't lead into runouts. And
yes.
Here the turnovers, you know, we talked about that last year ad nauseum between the top of the key and the half court. You make a turnover there, you're in a lot of trouble. You get those run out layups, and that's kind of been the case tonight. And you credit Grand Island Northwest. They play hard. They're a good team.
Again, yeah, this is.
They make life difficult on the defensive end.
This is a good team, and no offense to Lexington, but this is like, in terms of like the level of play, Grand Island Northwest is leagues above where Lexington is at the current moment. And Lexington's much better, but at this year comparatively to their previous years, but there is still a wide gap between that talent.
Compared to Bennington, they're a little more aggressive, a little quicker. Bennington was taller, and they were good three-point shooters. They made a lot of three-pointers.
Yeah. So far, Grand Island is just getting everything they want down in the paint area. As now Jared Smeltzer with the ball. Smeltzer, one-on-one with Burt. Gets a screen from Reed O'Brien. Bounce pass to Euling in the right corner. Euling to now O'Brien. One-on-one with Wald. Oh, good little fake from Reed O'Brien, but can't get the shot to fall. Good defense from Jacob Wald, not falling for that ball fake.
Just went straight up, got the block.
And now, that was supposed to go down low to Aries, but he was not looking for that ball either. Logan Hayes in transition. Up he goes, misses it with the left hand. And it's rebounded by Gavin Burt. That's Burt's 5th rebound in this ball game. Aries, right corner. Quick pass now to Gavin Burt. Burt, one-on-one with Caleb Odell. Burt, quick feed now to Weaver. Weaver, one-on-one with Hayes to Aries as Jake Kincaid looks to check back in. And here comes the sub-unit for the reserves, might I say, for Grand Island Northwest. Aries, corner 3. He makes it, nothing but nets. Aiden Aries got 3 points.
That time.
Yep. As Kincaid checks in, and again, the reserve unit for Grand Island Northwest will check in with 3:05 left to go, leading 57-29. Euling into the lane, it's blocked by Grant Weaver, and then we're gonna have a timeout from Evan Swanson.
Substitution time.
Yeah, so they'll bring in Alex Carter as well as Hudson Reef and Bryson Walker. So Aries is still on the court, as well as Grant Weaver.
Kincaid comes in for the Dogs.
Reed
I don't know if you mentioned that.
Yeah, Reed O'Brien was subbed out for Jake Kincaid. And again, here comes that reserve unit now for Grand Island Northwest. North Platte still looking to find a bucket in this fourth quarter. A corner three on the way from the Vikings. Hudson Reef no good, as looking to check in for North Platte. I was going to say, as we quickly have a block on the other end, checking in Caden Gale, I believe, number 24 at the scorers table for North Platte High School. Driving in Carter. Passes it back out to Walker. Walker, bounce pass into the paint now to Grant Weaver, and that's a foul for Smeltzer on the floor.
Yeah, it was a tough switch. He got stuck on a post and had to foul.
And as I said, Caden Gale, the 6-foot-tall sophomore, checks in. I think first time we've seen Caden Gale. Landry Hammond, somebody we've seen rotate in a bunch. But how about Caden Gale? And you've been more tuned to North Platte in these last couple of games. I was going to say, first time I think we've seen Caden Gale all season.
Same here, and I have not seen much of the JV games.
As Aries misses the shot, and a foul against Bryson Walker as Kincaid went for the rebound. So, again, it's good to see the young fellows get some time, and also for Mr. Gale, his first varsity game of this season specifically, and I think his career.
I don't know his game. I know Landry Hammond will be a three-point shooter.
Yeah, and we've seen Hammond a couple of times this season also. So Smeltzer into the lane, tough shot and in.
Got it.
That's now 6 points for Jared Smeltzer, and finally is attempting his and one that he probably should have gotten earlier in the ball game.
Well, let's see what happens here.
And this is also a good thing to keep some of these guys in to just get momentum. Jared Smeltzer, kind of a microwave type scorer, needs some confidence in his shot and his point scoring.
Just
so
had a lot of missed
opportunities, as he misses his second free throw of the night. He's 0 for 2 today. 57-31 the lead, so 2 points scored for North Platte in this fourth quarter. Walker on Kincaid. Oh, it was stripped away from Gale.
Oh, I thought that was off his leg.
Good little strip in from Caden Gale. As also checking in Max Berry.
Okay.
So another fresh name getting some playing time in his first varsity appearance this season as Jarrett Smeltzer checks out. So guys that we can see on the bench potentially checking in that are still left, as that little lob into Walker going up in a double team, almost stripped away by Kincaid. Walker flies it back out to Carter. To the far side, Grant Weaver. Weaver now swing pass to Reef. In the corner to Aries. Aries hop-stepping in the double team. Somehow finds it to Carter. Now, no three attempted from Reef. Good defense from the Dogs. Aries, oh boy, into Gale. It's a little behind floater, no good. Walker collects the miss. Bryson Walker, up and in. Names we haven't seen yet for North Platte, Talon Outerkirk, as well as, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Gunnar Boyer's
there
down
you
there.
go. I see him with his blonde hair. Thank you. That was the one guy I was missing.
Oh, there he is.
As Barry.
Landry's a shooter.
As Landry Hammond now with it. Bounce passes over to a three from Kincaid. Yes! First three-pointer for Jake Kincaid today. And with 1:10 left to go, North Platte 59-34 as here comes Talon Outerkirk checking in at the scorers table. And as you said, also checking in for North Platte High, Gunnar Boyer. Is that shot off the mark? Rebounded by the Dogs and Max Berry, and timeout called by head coach Jimmy Pack to put in the last substitutions, Outerkirk as well as Gunnar Boyer. So the futures of North Platte High now seeing some time here, and a lot of faces we haven't seen this season.
Talon's also a good outside shooter.
Good
he can shoot from three.
Yep, good 3-and-D type player.
Gunner's a lefty. He can get to the hole if he needs to.
Boyer's pass is almost interception by Aries. That's intended for Hammond.
Good reactions by the official that time. He about caught one in the head.
Still got some good moves in them, they do. As Landry Hammond with the inbound. Hammond gets it to Gunnar Boyer. Boyer now to the far side, guarded one-on-one by Carter. It should be Grant Weaver. Outerkirk crosses over. Outerkirk spinning into a double team. Back out it goes to Max Berry. Berry swings it to Boyer. Boyer to Hammond. Hammond with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Hop stepping. Hammond's shot is up, and a foul is going to be called. against Alex Carter, his first, and good little penetration in from Landry Hammond.
Not sure he shot a free throw yet this year. I got to look at that.
Now he will be shooting free throws for the first time, today specifically. 59-34 the lead. Oh, I forgot to turn that off.
He's now 3 for 3. He was 2 for 2 coming into that free throw.
Okay, perfect. He makes another. So Hammond so far clean with his free throw shooting. Oh, we just had to speak it into existence. Misses the second. Rebounded by Bryson Walker. Walker the other way. Ooh, no travel on that back step. Aries now with it in the left corner. 16 seconds. And with that, Grand Island Northwest will step back at the logo and dribble this ball game out. It was a close game for North Platte High in the first half, but unfortunately could not find anything in the second half. A grand total, Jeff Smeltzer, of I think
10 points in the second half.
Yeah, 4 in the third, 6
unacceptable.
in the fourth.
You're not going to win games scoring 10 points and a half.
And we talked about, at the halftime, the fear of this game kind of getting back to the law of averages when it comes to North Platte shooting, because they were shooting out of their mind. And I know me and you really wish that continued in the second half. But a lot of the issues that North Platte had in the second half didn't really boil down to their poor shooting. It's just they turned the ball over too much, which then didn't give their offense an opportunity to continue that rhythm that they had in the first half. And that's kind of where the problem stemmed from, was too many mistakes. Offense couldn't find a rhythm in the second half like it did in the first half because of those mistakes.
Yeah, and even though it was very competitive in the first half, I think it did affect the Dogs not having Jake Kincaid. He didn't play much in the first half.
Yeah.
Didn't play much in the second half because he came right in and got foul number 4 real quick. When he did play, he had a good night. He 5 points, 6 rebounds.
And that's unfortunately sometimes the swing we see with someone like Jake Kincaid is we know his impact on the court is immense, and what he does for this team with Jonathan Reinke out for the season as the lone real big guy on the team. The problem is I just feel like he costs himself too much because he's making a couple of some poor decisions on the defensive end that puts him in a vulnerable spot like that where he does then foul. And we've seen it not just, in this game alone, there's many games this season where he has not even exited 3 minutes into the first quarter with 2 fouls already.
Yeah. And I don't know if he played 15 minutes tonight.
No.
Maybe 20. I don't know if he played half the game.
It was definitely not 20 because he fouled immediately in that, come back in with 1:40 left to go in the first quarter. Didn't play all the second. Spot played in the third. Maybe he did pick up 20 because he did play a majority of the third and the fourth quarter before he picked up that 4th foul and then was just left in the rest of the game. But he was on track to not play over 20 minutes because of that foul issue. And that's just one of those things where one bad thing has spiraled, unfortunately, into a couple bad things. And instead of us being really positive about how we were going out of the second half, our thought was, well, we're making too many mistakes to start the third, and we're kind of overextending a bit, which then led to that run by Grand Island Northwest that then we just, as we've seen before, just could not come back from.
Again, they were kind of a positionless team. They were a lot of guys out there in that 6'2", 6'3" range, could shoot and could drive. See how the rest of their season goes.
They're now 8. Yeah, they're now 8-5 on the season. North Platte High School, of course, sitting at the moment 3-11, coming off, of course, their win against Lexington.
Who were their losses to Northwest?
All right, let's take a look here. I don't think I have it here. Let me pull it up for you. So their losses this season were Gretna East by only 57-52 to open the season.
That's a really, really good team.
They lost to Aurora 49-42. That's also a really good team. Lost to McCook, who we know is a good team. Got blown out by Norris 79-28, but Norris is Norris. And we all know they're really good.
Norris, Scott, and Scottsbluff should be the 3 best teams at state.
And they did lose to York, though. And we've talked about how York kind of has turned into this team that is we expected them to kind of have a drop-off this year. They lost their best player from a season ago, but they've been sneaky good this year, York has.
And they got 2 big guys. Number 10 and number 34 are about 6'6" apiece, 6'5", 6'6".
And, of course, we have them this Saturday on the road in York.
And they've got a pretty good guard who's a junior. I think he's number 4. That'll be a really tough game just because of height. matchup.
Yes, 100%.
Because they play them both at the same time, and they like to feed each other. So,
but to be fair, also nothing to be ashamed about when it comes to losing to this Grand Island Northwest team. I mean, they are just...
Yeah, because 4 of their losses were 10 points or less?
10 points or less, and most of their losses have come against teams that are either in the top 10 or top 5 in their respective classes this season.
Norris is going to make almost everybody look foolish.
Yes,
so.
And then again, York is a team that has sneakily been better than I think even our imagination was for how good they could be this year. So still nothing to hang your hat on entirely, but still a lot of mistakes that North Platte needs to clean up as a team if they really want to become, a team that consistently can win and consistently can put good performances together.
Yeah,
so
a lot of work ahead of them. They can do it.
They've gotten so much better from that first outing without Jonathan Ranke.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay.
You turned me down.
Okay.
But yeah, comparatively to how this team was when Jonathan Ranke first came out to now is markedly better. But it's continuing to and the problem is, just like last season, it's continuing that momentum from one half to another. Seems to just always seem to be the persistent issue for this team.
Yeah, and tonight it seemed like it was more of a defensive letdown in the third quarter. I mean, they had trouble scoring too, but the shots were there. The shots were good. They just weren't falling. But defensively, like you said, those 3 straight drives by
Jacob Wald,
by number 12,
that scored 6 points off of those 3 straight drives, is the main focal point for that issue. So we'll step aside and we'll come back. Head coach Jimmy Pack will be here to talk with us on our Quick Stop postgame show. Jeff Smeltzer will be departing. You will see him on Friday. Well, you'll see him if you go to the college tomorrow for North Platte Community College women's basketball versus Southeast. But you'll hear him back on the airwaves this Friday as McCook comes into town to face off against the Dogs. But we will most importantly, though, step away real quick. We come back our La Casa del Rio's postgame coach's interview.
Flavors and authentic Chinese cuisine? Look no further than Szechuan Famous Foods. From spicy Szechuan classics to mouth-watering dumplings, fresh sushi, their dishes are crafted with the freshest ingredients and traditional recipes. Whether you're dining in or taking out, every bite is a taste of China. Visit Szechuan Famous Foods today, where flavor is always first. Located at 320 Rodeo Road, or order online at SzechuanFamous.com for carryout or delivery. Your taste buds will thank you.
The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Head to Merrick's. Open Monday starting in February. Also, try the new Philly cheesesteak sandwich, the most authentic cheesesteak in the area. Merrick's.
Hey, Nebraska parents, did you know your local community college is offering free tuition for early entry and dual credit classes? At Mid-Plains Community College, your high schooler can jumpstart their future right now, saving money while earning real college credit. Picture this: the next nurse saving lives, the next entrepreneur building a better Nebraska, and it all starts while they're still in high school. Talk to your school counselor or visit npcc.edu to learn more. Students are responsible for course-related fees and must attend a Nebraska high school or homeschool to qualify.
For over 85 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services agents have built relationships with you, one conversation at a time. And we're as committed as ever to providing you with that level of service. As part of your community, we're here for you, answering insurance questions and helping make sure your financial goals are on track.
In North Platte, visit Jay Engel at fbfs.com/find-and-agent.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See me, Pete Foltz, at 501 South Jeffers for a free insurance review.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See me, Shelter Agent Brent Rogo at 405 East C Street and find out why so many of our clients would recommend Shelter.
Craving bold flavors and authentic...
It's the Quick Stop post-game wrap-up. Quick Stop never closes with 24 locations open 24 hours a day.
Welcome back to the Doghouse here, FM 98.1, AM 1410. I'm Paxton Gordon. It is time now for our La Casa del Rio's post-game coaches interview with head coach Jimmy Pack. Coach, it was a really great first half. Unfortunately, feels like shades of last year's team kind of snuck in that third and specifically fourth quarter after what was a productive first half where the ball was moving. Yes, there was 11 turnovers, but it felt like the offense was flowing really, really well. Second half kind of got off to a rough start with too many forced errors on your end that led to easy buckets the other way for Grand Island Northwest, and then the offense unfortunately could not find that same success as it found in the first half.
Yeah, like you said, way too many turnovers in the first half, way too many offensive rebounds that we gave up, and it was still a 2-point game at half. And, that was the message, that we're playing nowhere near our best, and we're still down 2. So we gave them 3 things to focus on in the second half. Take care of the ball. We call them rip moves, rip them off you because they're an aggressive team. They want to pressure you. So rip, box out, and somebody take a charge. I thought there was at least minimum 5 opportunities we could have took a charge, and instead we go up like the Kimbe Mutombo, and that's just not our motto. We've got to – those are those tough-minded plays, and I think Reed O'Brien came out and took a charge really early on, and that kind of helped. But, we just got a little stagnant in the fourth quarter, and their pressure just bothered us, and it really shouldn't have.
Yeah, as you said, the first half, again, nothing really changed in terms of their pressure from half to half, quarter to quarter. It basically stayed the same from start to finish. Me and Jeff Smeltzer put up a good point as well, as you talked about that rip movement and just try to get some separation with how plastered they were up. They were putting Urbanski out there. They were putting some of these longer defenders at the point of attack. He thought some of the screens that were set were maybe just a tad too weak and weren't really allowing your ball handlers to get that separation that they were needing from. Do you kind of maybe agree with him or see it differently in terms of how some of that off-ball screening or on-ball screening went away in that, specifically the second half? Because I thought the first half, as you said, I thought it was pretty good in that department. Second half, I think everything just unfortunately fell apart at the way seam.
We, it's the message after the game was we've just got to get tougher. There's no two ways about it. In Holdridge, I called a timeout, and I don't like to, believe it or not, raise my voice at teenagers, but I told them I can't fix it, and I pointed at the crowd and said nobody up there can fix it. And it was the same thing tonight. We work on screening, and at some point their physicality just broke our back a little bit. And the only thing I can say is we've got to get tougher. There's nobody out there that can fix it but us, and then particularly the 5 guys on the floor and the guys that are going to sub in the game. Whether that's screening, ripping guys off you, handling the ball. I felt like they were picking our pocket clean as could be, and that boils down to us being tough. And I told him I apologize. I don't know what else to do other than what we do in practice, but we've got to carry that stuff over from practice. And I'm tired of seeing heads go down when something doesn't go our way. We fixed it from the beginning of the year, but I saw some of that tonight. And instead of putting your head down, get fired up and say, I'm not going to let that happen again.
And that's where I think that second half was such an eye-opener, because it looked so, again, with everything that you listed off as kind of the bad that even happened in the first half, to be down 2 points, you should feel pretty optimistic going into that second half, being like, with everything that went wrong, that we were attributed to that reasoning why it went so wrong, to only be down 2 points. As you said, that fire should already be lit. So what are some of the things you could do maybe at a halftime break outside of, the rah-rah speech? Is there maybe something in terms of like a routine or a rhythm to keep them fully locked? Or is it really just on them to figure out why there is such a disparity between first half and second half types of aggression or mentality?
Players got to play.
Yep.
At the end of the day, players got to play. They're the 5 guys on the court that we trust. I pointed out to one of the varsity starters when they said their JV guys in, he still got pushed right out of the way and got an offensive rebound pushback. And that, I don't care how much you're down. If you're a varsity starter, you can't let a JV guy from the other team come in and do that. So that's just an accountability thing. Players got to play. There's, like you said, a rah-rah speech. It shouldn't take that. At this point of the season, we really shouldn't have to say anything at all. They're teenagers. Our team's teenagers. They put their pants on one leg at a time. There's no D1 All-Stars out there that we need to really be panicking about. But that's always been Northwestern's motto. They're tough. They beat you up a little bit, and I think at some point we just kind of gave into that physicality. And to answer your question, no, I don't have any magic pills or routines. You go in. It was a little bit longer halftime tonight. It says it right on the back of our shirt, though. No excuses. We don't make them. 47 days on the road. I never let them use that as an excuse. Our best player is out. We don't know for how long, but we haven't even brought it up because that's just letting something else creep in. And at some point, you've got to be an athlete, and you've got to dig your heels in and just say, this isn't going to happen anymore.
Let's kind of shift towards some of the positive that happened, and I think that first half was a full lot of positive offensively. I think that we've seen it happen sometimes. You said that ball movement kind of can die a little bit when things aren't going your way. But when that ball is popping, that ball is moving with some precision and some direction of where it needs to go, man, Grand Island Northwest just could not really seem to find a way to stop, whether it be your perimeter shooting, which was its best in the season to start that first half, or some good little cut-ins from guys like Reed O'Brien, who, even though he didn't show up on the score sheet much, made a lot of that good off-ball movement into the lane. Or Logan Hayes being aggressive into the paint, making some good layups, even with that injured hand, and hitting some big crucial shots beyond the arc as well.
Yeah, we're not. We've added some little wrinkles here and there to our offense. I don't believe in hitting the reset button and let's put in a whole new offense. And just little things like put your toe in the dirt and backdoor if guys are up hard denying you. They really like running those DHO looks. We have some sets out of that. But, again, if they're up pressure and denying you, slip off of that thing. Don't just keep letting them ride you out to the volleyball line. Put a toe in and go. That requires a lot of effort, and we got to get guys that are buying in and investing that, yeah, it's going to take you a little bit more effort to backdoor instead of just letting the guy push you around. But those are the kind of things that they're buying into. We're seeing in practice and things of that nature. And we've got to carry over. Logan hit some big shots from the outside tonight. He's worked on his shot a ton in the offseason. Last year his elbow was right out in front of his eyeballs.
Yeah.
This year it's nice and pretty. It's up over his head, and it's showing in his improved shooting. I kind of wish he'd look for those deep shots a little bit more because he really can be an inside-out threat. And, Jake Kincaid's working at it, getting better at finishing off 2 feet and not letting, I tell him all the time, you're a football player. You should love that kind of physicality. And he's working at it, and it's getting better, but it's a process. And Reed has totally been unexpected. That for him to be starting, and he's our best finisher inside right now, things of that nature. Sometimes I get a little worried about the three because, like they say, you live by the three, you die by the three.
Mm-hmm.
So we hit him in the first half, and we didn't. In the second half, it felt like 4 or 5 of them were halfway down and came.
They came right back
out.
I know, yeah.
So that's the way that the game goes, and you got to live with that, and that's that toughness I'm talking about. You can't put your head down when one rattles in and pops out. Make the adjustment and knock the next one down.
Yep, and again, that toughness is going to have to continue because we all know how well McCook comes to play when it is a very physical game. Last year, they had that toughness. Even though they lost some of their players, they still overall have that toughness. Really good team. And York, a team that I think is very surprising this season. A lot of people slated them not to be as good. Of course, losing their best player last year. That's a quick little back-to-back, a home game against McCook, and then a short in retrospect to Bennington last week, but a short little hop, skip, and a jump over to York on Saturday. Really take me through in these next 2 days of practice that you're going to have to have here. What's another thing that you're circling for this team to improve upon outside of the things that we've talked about today?
We've really been honing in on finishing through contact, read and react drills, recognizing when there's a driving lane there and when there's not there. We're going to keep, I'm sure at some point they're going to get tired of it, but, I heard a coach once say if you ever find a drill that your players hate, keep doing it because it's making them better. So I don't know if there's anything per se that they hate, but we really need to work on finishing in the paint and not letting contact really bother us. I've told several guys, whether you miss it or they blocked it, it goes in the stats as a missed shot. So go up strong. If he blocks it, he blocks it. But if you try to be Michael Jordan, which none of you are, and it goes off the backboard and doesn't draw any iron, that doesn't look good either. So at least try to go through contact. So definitely going to be hitting some of that. I don't think our cardio is going to improve anymore in the next 48 hours or anything of that nature. But they work hard. I would say out of the whole season, I think we'll be on practice 40 tomorrow. I can only think of 1 or 2 practices that I haven't really been happy with. So it's not for lack of effort. We'll just keep doing what we do. I don't believe, like I said, I don't believe in some magic pill that's going to come falling out of the sky. Focus on those tiny little details. Little things add up to big things. finishing in the paint, boxing out, taking the charge, taking care of the ball, being tough. Take care of all that stuff. Little things add up to big things, and big things are usually good things.
That's what you love to hear, Coach. As always, thank you so much.
You.
Also, thank you for the little nice warming jacket that I got here today. I'm so ready to wear that. And, of course, I will see you on Friday for that McCook game, as always.
Look forward to it.
Coach, thank you so much, Head Coach Jimmy Pack, stopping on by, having a splendid conversation, as we always do, after the game here today. Well, that'll do it for me tonight. North Platte High School in both the boys and the girls falling to Grand Island Northwest here on the boys' side, 59-38, while the girls fall 54-27. We're back tomorrow for more basketball, this time on FM 98.1, AM 1410 for North Platte Community College men and women's against Southeast Community College and the Bobcats. And then on Friday, some more basketball, North Platte High taking on McCook from the Doghouse here. I will see you all tomorrow.